Yes, 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 your yes, yes. Are we live?
We are live. We are live. We are live.
Are we live?
Yes, 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 yes.
We are live. Thank you very much. Why did you have to say yes 5 times?
Just to emphasize it now.
Why not one yes? Just one big yes. Yes.
Oh, sorry, sir.
You know. Why yes 5 times? Who remembers Yes Magazine?
Osa's giving music now. It's kind of
Who,
dumb.
remember, who remembers
Give me
Yes
something.
Magazine? Now
I
them
remember
still
Yes
people now.
Magazine. I
Yeah.
remember Yes Magazine now.
Yeah, yes, magazine. Yeah, that's the OG now.
Yeah.
Azwarinze.
It was
Chief.
just, it was just
Azwarinze.
coming on the is the word precipice of the internet taking over. It was a wrong time
Yeah,
to
yeah,
launch.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It was a wrong time to launch. Like
Yeah.
we've talked about this like 100 times. I just want to say, like, I was having a conversation about innovation and just having foresight. It's super key,
Very key.
but it's also very difficult.
I want to have a conversation about innovation, right? So I took this genius test, right? And
And you scored 100.
you know,
That's so.
is it? No, I
So,
just
and
I did score very high in innovation, and it got me wondering. I'm like, what is innovation? I feel what I believe is innovation is, especially from my field, it's staying up to date with trends, right? And really quickly jumping on it. From my experience, how does that happen? It happens with, always following up, like, listening to just following up what's happening in your industry, right? Paying attention, reading blogs, websites, listening to podcasts, following other like influential people in the space and people you think are innovative. And when something quickly happens, you adapt and you move on, right? So I was thinking like maybe in media marketing, what's been the latest trend in the last 5 years? I'll say AI, right? And I was saying the first month I adopted it. Like I started using it immediately.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, so is innovation something intuitive? Is it something inborn, or is it something that you learn? Like it's just kept me wondering, what is innovation? Is it something that people like, are people just innovative just from like innate? Do you understand my question?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good one, really. It's so innovation basically is like applying new methods to solve new problems, basically, that haven't been applied before, right? And it goes to, how will I put this? It requires you to carry out a lot of research to see what is the next best thing to apply, right? So you're constantly researching and looking for new ways. It's basically in between predictive and prescriptive analysis. All right, predictive, what is going to happen in the future? Prescriptive, what should I do to solve the problem? And then that's when you start finding new ways, new methods, depending on which industry. Oh, is in marketing. Oh, okay. In the field of like reaching consumers faster, this is how to carry things out. Let me try this. Yeah, and there's a lot of testing and a lot of, all of that going on. And I think for like us personally, like humans, right, we're very okay with the regular, especially if it's working. And some solutions work, right? But some solutions don't work 100%. They work like 80% or 70%, which is the highest score in the land. So you're okay with it. In fact, it's the best practice, right? But how do you now start taking it to like 100%? How do I do more? How do I okay, I'm reaching these people, but how do I get these people to buy more? Or how do I reach these people more? Or how do I crush my competitors? And that's when you start looking for new ways, new methods, right? And the spirits business, they tell you, new flavors,
do you think it's a trait though? Like, do you think it's a trait?
Some people definitely have the characteristics of going to look for more.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody. And you need to identify the people in your team that can do that. You also need to identify, it's a whole thing. I did this I went for a retreat in my company and we did this whole analysis. It was amazing because we had to take the test real quick and we found out which characteristics we were. I think they broke us down into 4 people, if I remember. If I can pull it up, if I see it, there's some people that are rigid, hardcore rigid. They don't want things to change. But they are, but they will carry out the best practice. They will never sleep on the job, and the company will never
crash. They're very, they have tenacity.
They are hardcore. The direct opposite of them are the guys who are innovative, who want to try new things, and who are okay with things crashing a bit.
Yeah, they're Mercurial.
Yeah, so you have like 4 of them. If I can pull it up, I think I saved it on my Remarkable, so I should be able to pull it up. But like it was, a consultant was the one that helped
But
us
okay, so
identify.
Let me put the question this way again. Do you think
Yes, sir.
these things are static? Do you think the rigid people can never be innovative? Is that
I
is that
think
how you...
I think the crossover is very limiting. Most people are
I don't
static.
think so. But okay. Is
Most
it?
people who are static are static. Most people who are this are this, because it's beyond, before you even get into work, it's who they are as people.
Yeah. I think it's very hard for you to change at that point. Although some people do it, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's a bit difficult for you to now say, okay, let me change, let me, nah. It's tough because you are who you are as a person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And who you are as a person is, hey man, I'm just
okay with what's going on, what's happening. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in my comfort zone.
So basically, it also goes to how you can have like different management archetypes, right? So for people who drive for growth, right, they have the elements of decision and strategy. Like those are their core elements. People who drive for vision, they have elements of strategy and motivation. People who are coaches have motivation and operation. And people who are controllers have operation and decision.
Yeah. Okay.
So these are the different archetypes that you have. And then you have to, and that's why it's key. You have to work with like your human resource team to identify these talents in the company, because you have to have it balanced.
Yeah.
So that the company is not lopsided. And that's what usually happens with like startups, right? You just have people who like growth drivers, people who, because everything has to be lean and fast and all of that. But you now start to notice what happens when the company starts expanding. What do they start doing? They start bringing people who are more grounded. Who kind of now ground, okay, we need to get a CFO,
Yeah.
Well, so the accountant with dreads and shorts, who's a cool guy, off the bat using a Mac. Now you go and get one baba that is using
suited and booted up.
That is using ThinkPad, Windows.
Windows 95.
And doesn't use Google Sheets. He uses Microsoft Excel.
Straight up.
You understand? So once the company starts to expand, you now start bringing people out. So because you now have to make it balanced. On the flip side, it also happens where you have like elderly, old people who have been in the game, who are like more grounded. And then you want to, freshen things up and liven things up, especially for like innovation and startup spirit. And you go and get young people who kind of spice things up, who come with like bright ideas. So you see the first foray are usually in the marketing department. And then you get more young, eccentric people who can come up with like bright ideas. Because again, in speaking in context of Nigeria now, average age is 18, right? So your head of marketing is like maybe 45. The team average age in the team has to go down to 20. I don't know how you're going to do it. Not 20, like 20s. Let's say like 20,
mid-20s,
25, 27. Yeah, because the team has to be young. So you have like young ladies, young guys who are eccentric. Software engineering, the dev team usually they are young anyways, but the CTO is going to be a bros who probably used Fortran 30 years ago or 40 years ago. You understand? The CTO is going to be an OG. Then you have the PMs, you have the PMMs, you have the technical product managers, you have some people 5 years experience, some people 3 years, like that. So those things happen, and you have to balance the team out. And for me, like that's what makes a company.
True.
That's what makes a company for me. So yeah, man. That's a great question, man. Nice one. That's a great question. Shout out to everybody that listened to the last episode. Got really good feedback. Our unofficial editor of the podcast, Bayo Mishori, that's what I'm calling him now, sent me a message that we actually did miss a couple of songs. Yeah, I think one he pointed out, and I don't know how we missed this record. Like, I don't know how we missed this record.
Which one is that?
I got you.
Just play. I'm not talking. Just play.
In what context? Mixed in what context? Like in what were we talking about?
No, we didn't play when we talked about
conscious music.
Yeah, people playing conscious music and all of that. Yeah, and that we, because we did a very nice playlist, if I may add.
Yes.
But yeah, it was like, yeah, we missed the record. Then when he said we missed the record, I remember 2 other records. But let me play the record we missed.
Oh shit.
Yeah. We fumbled. Big record. 2007. Asha.
There is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. I wake up in the morning, tell you what I see on my TV screen. I see the blood of an innocent child, and everybody's watching. Now I'm looking out my window, and what do I see? I see an army of a soldier man marching across the street. Hey, hey, Mr. Soldier Man, tomorrow is the day you go to war. Boy, you are fighting for another man's cause, and you don't even know him. Ooh, what did it say to make you so blind to your conscience and reason? Could it be love for your country, or for the gun you use in killing? So there is fire on the mountain, and nobody seems to be on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. Hey, Mr. Loverman, can I get a chance to talk to you? Cause you are fooling with a dead man's corpse, and you don't know what you do. So you say you have a lover, and you love her like no other. So you buy her a diamond that someone has died on. Don't you think there's something wrong with this? Tell me, who's responsible for what we teach our children? Is it the internet or the stars on television? Why, oh, why? Why, oh, why, oh? Oh, so little Lucy turned 16, and like the movie she's been seeing, she has a lover in her daddy. She can't tell nobody till she makes the evening news. For there is fire on the mountain, and there is nobody on the run. Oh, there is fire on the mountain top, and no one is running. Oh, yes. One day the river will overflow, and there'll be nowhere for us to go, and we will run, run, wishing we had put out the fire. Oh, for there is fire on the mountain, yeah, yeah, and there is nobody, oh, there is
Double Asha.
no, 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 no.
First track off the album.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how we missed this.
I'm in chains, you're in chains.
The lyrics hit hard.
Our uniforms.
The lyrics hit
You are uniforms too.
How many years?
I'm a prisoner. You're a prisoner too, Mr. Jailer. Oh, I have fears. You have fears too. I'll die, but you self will die too. Life is beautiful. Don't you think so too, Mr. Jailer? I'm talking to you, this love. Let him is without sin be the first to cast a stone. Mr. Jailer, Mr. Jailer.
Can you guys, like, I was playing this. Bro, I'm listening to the lyrics of these records and they hit home.
Yes,
they hit home. What happened to us as a people? We just stopped with this messaging. Why?
We morphed into the worst version of ourselves because of the situation we're in.
We also missed somebody else.
Who?
Steve, we missed someone else. In fact, this person did a whole album.
Wow. Okay.
And we missed it.
Oh.
Willis, get that! Anything I talk, make you talk am again. Talk am again. Anything I talk, make you talk am again. Talk am again. Brother Moody shout finish, we no see am for court. We no see am for court. Election don't come, then go need your support. Go need your support. Since CFC Boston, we no see you for club. We no see you for club. And you get legit to work, now waiting you talk. Now waiting you talk. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. 4 year tenure, 3 year holiday. 3 year holiday. Our senator don't they fight kung fu again. Fight kung fu again. Say they never tired, they won't continue the race. They won't continue the race. We buy your story, but you don't give us change. You don't give us change. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Anything I talk, make you talk am again. Talk am again. Anything I talk, make you talk am again. Talk am again. Month don't end, I got pay salary. I got pay salary. In 2019, 98 alawi. 98 alawi. It's like make you walk, you dey find allergy. You dey find allergy. You can't turn your body to cash and carry. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. Now you talk amo, don't be me talk amo. 3 private jet, you say you buy am for church. Say you buy am for church. But your congregation no they follow fly am of course. Fly am of course. Why your people still they carry eye for someone? Carry eye for someone. Yeah, no be person cause no be your tribe I come from. Small man thief for market to set fire for him body. Big man thief money with a hell I'm like dummy. We they suffer, we they smile, we they fear to talk. My people no get to chop, my people no get to walk. These days we don't know if authority they for office. Cause the hour where we see, no be security where you promise and the cop you don't fool. We don't time for all the rubbish and the punishment. Now me talk amo.
Round of applause to Falz the Bad Guy there. Round of applause to Falz the Bad Guy. That song captures so much, and you know he points the torch or the light to the government, but he also points the light to the people. You know, it's a well-rounded. I know what Steve wants to say, and I'm going to let you say it.
This album reminds me of one of the darkest period on Obasanjo's internet, like the hypocrisy that was on display in the review of this album. Like
it's terrible.
Oh my god!
This was a 2019 album, Abi.
Yeah,
bro,
it's a classic.
2019.
It's a one album of the year. They had this. It's a classic album. Yeah,
it's a classic album.
You know, but everybody left the messaging and just really harped on what he said about the homosexuals or something like that.
Oh, the allergy parts.
It's not even the homosexuals. It's when he critiqued what women do with their body, and you know.
Thank you.
That happened last weekend. So we'll get into it. You know, but it's crazy how people again, like I was telling someone yesterday. Once you are patriotic, once you fight for Nigeria, once you do good for Nigeria, Nigeria finds a way not only to ignore or discard you, but to punish you for it.
Yes, and like why are you going against the grain?
Yeah, again, we saw it when he dropped moral instruction in 2019. What a wonderful body of work. I don't even want to... If you guys want to listen to it, I did a whole breakdown with Falz himself, right? I got files to speak about the album in Moral Instruction. I believe we did in sometime a year after or 1 year anniversary of the album. So we'll put the link in description on the A Music in Time podcast. If you've not heard it, you guys should listen to it to just see how this guy's mind thinks in creating music. It is an amazing episode.
Speaking of Moral Instruction, our editor, the editor of this podcast, our senior editor of this podcast, you promised me Ministry of Corruption, so I'm reminding you, sir. Because I can't find Ministry of Corruption anymore.
I have Ministry of Corruption. It's on my hard disk here. I have it. Kali Abdul, right?
Yeah, Baba, send down.
I got it. I got you. All you needed to do, see, bro, all you needed to do was just ask me.
Yeah, just forget.
What do you find for Sokoto? It did for Sokoto.
I won't have to tweet that, guys, please. Who has Ministry of Corruption?
I didn't see your tweet. I'm sorry. Ministry
of
Corruption, Kali Abdul. Come on, man. Come on. Let me give you a taste of what I even have, Kali Abdul. And this is not Ministry of Instruction, but let me just give you a taste of what I have. Remember this record?
Yo, this for everybody saying the line of the club. VIP in regular sections. Yeah, Kick Connect on the beat.
Shout out Kick Connect.
Toast to the true life. If you feel me, put your glass in the air like you care. We gon' do it like, hey. Give it to me like, oh. Glasses up, big toast to the true life. If you feel it, put your hands in the air. Wave them around like you care. We gon' do it like, hey. Give it to me like, oh. Glasses up, I'm high as hell. No drugs, pure rhyme and skills. Tonight we'll celebrate like I signed a deal.
For real. Come on. Kali Abdul. Oh man, see this album, The Bandits, right? Kali Abdul and K Connect. I played this album, this project. I played it till I couldn't play it anymore. You know, and from time to time I go back to it again. I know we're jumping topics and everything, but like in terms of like hip hop producers, So Sick, SARS, XYZ, Texzilla.
Rest in peace, Beats by J,
and of course the one and only Key Connect. These are the people who carried hip hop. I mean, there are other producers, and shout out to them. But like in terms of like the sound, the element. I can never forget Kraft.
Yeah, I want to mention Kraft. Yeah,
I can never forget Craftmatics.
He's my neighbor. Before he come and knock on my door.
Shout out to Craftmatics. These are the people that carried hip hop and took hip hop. I like Key Connect's era because he really came and polished it up.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know Key Connect is responsible for blowing Vico?
Yeah, that's why I can't forgive him. And if you look at Vico is the reason why we now have
Speed
Darlington
and all the other variants.
Yes.
And all the other variants.
Kid Connect, if you are listening to this, you opened that wormhole. You opened that portal.
He opened the portal and didn't close it.
We will not rested till today.
Because he didn't close the portal. He didn't close it. Because once in a while, a new variant comes.
Now. That's the problem. I'm like, bro, we're still stuck here.
Man, that's crazy. But yeah, okay, let me reverse to where we're coming from. Shout out to Files. You guys should listen to Moral Instruction, the breakdown on A Music in Time. We'll put the link in the description for you guys to check it out if you haven't listened to it. Steve, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Thank you.
His mic.
I don't want to fucking hear it. Listening to these Asha's songs again, you know what I did over the weekend? Actually listened to a whole discography again, right? And like I've mentioned on this podcast, her first 3 projects are classics.
Bangers,
right? So Asha, the debut album, Bed of Stone, the Sophomore.
Yeah,
and
Beautiful
then
Imperfection.
Beautiful Imperfection, Sophomore.
Well, the Bed of
Thank
Stone,
you. And Bed of Stone. Those 3 are classics, right? Then when he gets to Lucid, that's when it starts to tail off.
That's when he gets loose.
It starts to tail off. And it starts to tail off well to the point where I'm listening to it and I'm like, what's going on? So I listened to it back then, I listened to it. I said, let me have a clean slate now, right? I haven't listened to anything. And then I do a whole listen again. And Lucid, it starts to tail off, right? Because she starts to sing and she's not saying much, By the time she drops the 5th album, that album is horrible. I'm just going to put it out there. I know you guys love her.
The last one.
Yeah, 5. V or 5, whatever she calls it. It's a horrible album. At some point, you're asking yourself, what is she doing? Like, are you singing right now? It's terrible, And I hope her 6th project is going to be really good. But from single I heard, it's not sounding great. So please. But you know what? You know something that's interesting, bro?
Yeah.
I now went back and started looking at the writing credits of all the albums. This is very interesting. For the first album, Cobham write a bulk of it. So for the English-speaking songs, Fire on the Mountain, Jailer is Cobham's. And some, like, then the record, which is my best Asha record, No One Knows Tomorrow. No one knows, because to me it's a hip-hop record and she's singing on a hip-hop record. She co-wrote it with Cobham's. Like, Cobham's does a bulk of the writing. And she also, like, you know, but the Yoruba records, she writes them.
Yeah. She writes those ones herself,
The second album, this is when she went to France, right? Co-written by a lot of people. I don't think there's any solo writing. But, like, it's a bulk of the writing is also not her. She's writing, she's co-writing, but there are people writing. And this is where Omolara also joins. I don't know if you guys don't know Omolara.
Osagie.
Omolara also joins. And Omolara writes Okay. Omolara writes, like, some of those records, right? They are dope. The third album, this is when she also went to that music village where she did Satan Be Gone.
Where's this place in country
Mississippi music? Also, where they do country music. Nashville, you know. Yeah. So I also checked the writing credits. She co-written almost everything. When it gets to Lucid, apart from Mother in the USA, she writes it, which is a great record, and was co-written by someone else as well.
Yeah.
Other records, she writes them herself.
She needs to go and look for a co-writer again.
Do you see what I'm saying? So she writes them herself. Then the last album, she wrote it herself. Most of the co-writing is with P Prime, who's a producer. So maybe
this guy also wrote World. World wrote a record.
Yeah.
It was so bad that everybody knew that this is World that is singing. This is not Asha. This is World. It's
so
just
you start to see that.
Wow,
okay. Writing is like, see, bro. I keep telling people, and that's what's happening to our favorite pop guy. You just need writers on your team. Once you have writers on the team, everything becomes better. It's the same thing I used to tell Praise all the time. Praise has the best voice, right? But I used to tell him, bro, we need to get right. Like, you need to just get a writer. Get people who write. Because when you get people who write, the songs will just be better. Bro, Praise has the best voice, right? But at times you hear some of the songs and he's not saying anything on the records. It's bland. See, writing is not stringing words together. Look at Jailer and funny enough, Fire on the Mountain, I started listening to it with Cobham's voice. And you can clearly see how, okay, Kobe wrote this record. Kobe wrote Not the Girl, No Stars. Kobe wrote Strong Team.
No Stars, bro.
You understand? Kobe wrote Ego. Kobe wrote Stupid Song, and is one of Bez's still one of Bez's biggest songs. In fact, he wrote Stupid Song for Dijini. And Dijini passed on it. Yeah. Bez did it, and Bez and Praise did it. And it's one of their biggest records. It made it to BET at the time.
Yeah.
You know, so writers are like super important, and I hope like Anasha can see that and go back to like people show. Go back to Kobe, man. Go and do an album with Kobe.
She's mad talented. Her voice
Come on, man. Come on.
Have you, by side note, have you ever done a playlist of Asha and Brimo before?
It's crazy.
See, by the time you're done, your third eye, everything is open.
It's crazy.
You're not seeing like a human being anymore.
It's crazy. If you do a playlist of Asha and Brimo, it's crazy. And that's one thing I'll give Brimo. It might be crazy. Do you understand right now?
Yeah.
But one thing I will give Brimo is his writing.
His right. No, that one is a spirit.
Bro, let me play you one record Brimo did with AQ. The record is called War. The way Brimo comes off that record, you're just going to be like, okay, what is going on? How did he do this? Where does he get this inspiration from? Brimo. No, I gotta give it to Brimo. I'm not even going to front.
I may not be he who needs for means to be what he already is, and I am the one who finds the itch, who scratches it to bleed, who watches it to heal. And it was not me who brought the battles to be, yet I decided when you did that this war was coming for me. It was not free, but I held the choice what year, and I decided to be there to be what this war
guy said, I'm the one who scratches the itch and watches it bleed. You know, I'm the one that scratches the itch, watches it bleed and watches it heal, whatever. Like, nah, Brimo is the top 5 writer. Brimo, Two-Face,
Burner.
Burner, One Day.
When one day gets in his bag.
Bro, One Day,
When I heard it again, I was like, nah, fam, this is penmanship. Now, how about?
Bro, you on again? Bro, when I heard Brimo, Brimo. What's his name? One Day. One Day. No. One Day is. Bro, I heard One Day on the Motion to More Hits album. I mean, he had already displayed on CV, but you hear a record as simple as a pop record like this. This is a pop record, though.
One day call, yeah. Don't just
Have you listened to the lyrics of this record? This is Justin Bieber pop level music, made in 2009.
I know you like it. I know you like the way I give it to you, baby. The other day, I got you screaming out my name. And you want it today. I know you want me to give it to you today. But I will do it. But I will do it. Until you, babe. 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 Now who be this I see behind the bar? Now the same girl we I meet for Calabar. She was quick to dash and jump into my car. She said, can I have your NU? M-B-E-R. I remember clearly it was crazy. All night I had her calling me baby. She was next to me before I went too far. I stopped to whisper in her ear. I said to her, I know you like it.
Come on, man. This is pop music. That's pop music. You know, pop music, everything is not deep. It's radio record.
There are only a few artists in Nigeria who got into that perfect. That's look 10 over 10.
This is perfection.
This is two Baba and one Deko. See those two. They gave us and said, "This is the finish. See, we've done the work. Every other person copy. We've done the work. Does the copy they go."
Can I ask something?
Well,
99 to 2000 versus 2011 till now. Which era of Afrobeats? In terms of, I'm not saying progress, I'm not saying Afrobeats to the world. Music.
You said 99 to 2000 or 99 to 2010?
99 to 2010 rather. Then 2011 till now. Who gave us which Afrobeats? You know how they say like in America, the 80s, the 70s, the 90s. Who is better? 99 to 2000.
99 to 2000 now.
2010.
Sorry, 99 to 2010 versus 2011 to now.
So this is how it is, right?
Yeah.
99 to 2010.
Yeah.
They gave you the big singles and they gave you classic albums. Finish. 2011 today, they will give you hit singles. So that classic album,
their problem. That's why I started getting shaky.
Can't shake it, man.
Their problem there.
But is it that 99, 2010?
The writing from 99 to 2010, it was insane. I love this word. And it's something I accuse Nollywood of doing. And I'll talk about it again. I want to talk about John Boyega comment.
Yeah, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
See, there was a year that's 2009.
Are we just being old heads? That's why we're choosing the former.
No, I'm not being because I'm still in the game. So
I old head where we consumed and played in those spaces during this period. Like when did you leave? What did I leave journalism? When did you leave?
We actually played in the 2011 era.
In 2011 era more. Thank you very much. That was even our era.
So that should even be a bias for us, right?
Thank you.
In 08, Nice dropped Gongwaso album. The band dropped Entertainer. P-Square dropped Game Over. Bro.
God damn it. Between 07 and 08, that's a lot.
Because all of them were nominated for Best Album. My head is at 09. So they dropped it in 08. Bro, do you know what that means?
Yeah, that's a lot.
3
That's a
classic
lot.
albums. Stop.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And 2 years before, Olu Maintain dropped Maintain Reloaded.
Yes, the 09, when the Kona said, I'm shutting everything down. Bro.
Every year was grand.
Mm-hmm.
Every year brought us a classic.
Yes. 09 also. 09, that's when Dragon dropped CEO, right?
Yeah, Dragon dropped CEO. P Square came back with the Double Trouble.
Bro, that was 09.
No, not Double Trouble. What's the name of the album?
Danger.
No, Danger with the Danger album. Yeah, there were too many. Too many.
The 2010, the rappers now decided, let's give everybody an album.
Yeah, all the rappers dropped in 2010. It's best year of hip hop, Nigerian hip hop. But 99 to 2010 didn't give us the divas.
Yeah, that's the problem. It was very, very, too many testosterone up in that place. Yes. Look at the squeeze Mocheda. Look at the squeeze Mocheda. Mocheda now will be eaten in this generation. But look at it. The scene was too tough for Mocheda, like, bro.
Man.
I got it good. Yeah.
Anyways, man, welcome to a round of applause for our conversation. We did try now. They try now. It's in the happen. They try now. Anyways, welcome to Loose Talk Podcast. It's another episode. We're here again. We're back again. We're back again to talk about everything from the state of affairs in Nigeria to, everything happening in music, sports, pop culture. We are here to discuss. Where do we start? Let's start with a quick catch up. Ayo, what's good?
I'm good. Nothing much popping.
No, you can't say nothing much popping. First of all,
that's what I'm
no. Thank you. Thank you for even reminding me. I wanted to do this. Ayo and I talking about romantic relationships, right? Yeah, speaking about romantic relationships that we talked about last week. Ayo and I used to be very close, and I just feel bad that we're not close anymore. It's very. I feel. I sat down and thought about it.
All your friends are not close anymore. You and I are not close anymore. You and I are not close anymore. What's happening, Osagie?
Yeah, I sat down and said, man, I and I used to be really close. Like, close. What happened? What went wrong?
Osagie
and I feel bad about it.
Denominator in this wala.
No, I'm not the common denominator.
I'm lying. You are the common denominator. Ayo.
You are the common denominator.
You have a problem.
You moved away. You left.
Yes.
You just moved on.
I left. Okay.
Yeah, you moved on. You just moved on. So and I just look at it like, what is happening? I am really tired the second. This is somebody I know. Like, what is going on? And I'm like, okay. I mean, if life does that, life does that. But hey, I can't control life, can I?
No, because they argue every day for a group.
No.
Don't talk. We're in a group that has like how many other people? That's different.
Okay.
That's different.
Okay. So where you want to go now?
No, I'm going to land that you wrote a movie.
I co-wrote a movie.
And we just saw it.
I saw it on Twitter. Actually.
Let me we put it on the group and that was it.
Let me tell you the story of that movie. Right? Mm-hmm. So it was sometime last year. Daniel David, you know our guy now, Daniel David.
Shout out, Daniel. David.
He hit me up and said, Ayo, look, me and you always wanted to collaborate, right? There's this script that we are working on, but I'm not happy with it. Can you help me rewrite it? So he sent it to me. It was the Moving Project. I wrote it like 4 or 5 times. We did meetings back and forth, creative meetings. And I sent it to him. I had forgotten that movie existed somewhere. It was somebody that remembered Maven that, oh, you wrote our movie for us. I was like, oh, you guys ended up shooting that movie. I didn't know. And that was last year, December. Lo and behold, I was on Instagram and I saw a poster. I said, Maven Films Presents. And I just remember, oh, this is the name of the movie I worked on. And I just looked down, I saw my name. It's not as if they were like, oh, we had a meeting with Don Jazzy or with Tega. It was very, very, very last minute-ish.
That makes sense. Shout out to Maven. That makes sense.
Yeah. And that's like, as everybody saw it, that's how me too, I saw the poster. And I'm like, wow, okay. It was even later, they now reached out to me that, oh, they want my bio, they want my headshot and everything. So, as you guys are surprised, me too, I was surprised.
Maven is shooting, is doing our movies now. Shout out to Maven, though.
Yeah, they're pivoting there, yeah.
Shout out to Maven. And there's a lot
to top entertainment company.
Yeah, and there's a lot to work with, when it comes to like a visual content and projects from Maven, from documentaries to to films, biographies,
to making the soundtracks.
Like, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of things to explore as an entertainment company. So shout out to them. They're doing all the right things.
Shout out to me.
Yeah.
Well, okay. I mean, if that's much of an excuse? I'm just thinking. I don't know.
The next one that's coming now. Go do executive producer. I'll just come and meet you guys.
Is that much of an excuse?
I'll say Osagie and Steve, please. I need money, please. We want to shoot the next one. This one is a killer one.
Anyways, it is now streaming. The name of the movie is Chapter X. X. It is a Maven Films, and it presenting a Savant production, starring Tomiojo, Deji Oshikoya, and Amara Aldu. Chapter X, now streaming on YouTube, Maven Records YouTube channel, directed by the one and only Daniel David. Damn, Daniel. If you guys know who Daniel David are, for the old listeners, that was our first recording engineer.
Yeah.
Our first recording engineer, Loose Talk, first version of Loose Talk, and he held it down for us, back then. Well. Shout out to him. Produced by Ifedayo Anyilara and written by the one and only Ayomide Tayo, Ayomide Oluwasegun Tayo II, and Isioma Egba. So shout out to you. Shout out to you again, and congratulations. This is under your belt. Put it on your LinkedIn. Put it everywhere.
Yeah. My second.
That's good.
Like play.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. All right, so I got out of my chest. Steve, I don't have anything to say to you.
That's good.
Yeah, today. For now.
That's good.
For now, today. Nothing to say to you. Somebody did send a message and asked if we could add them to like the WhatsApp channel. Just want to say it's not a WhatsApp channel. Like, we don't have an official Loose Talk WhatsApp channel. The WhatsApp group we usually talk about is a group with our other friends. Most of them are like ex-Pulse guys. And so it's not like an open group, sorry. But I know we'll usually talk on the podcast, say, this group, and stuff like that. So sorry about that. Someone also said we should stop talking over Ayo. We should give Ayo, yes. Okay. Yes, this was shout out to our Spotify gang.
Oh, it's Spotify comments. Okay.
Yes, from Spotify comments said, please stop talking or like let Ayo land his points.
Spotify FC.
Yeah, so shout out to Spotify gang. No problem. And it's Steve most of the time. It's Steve. I can tell you, it's Steve. You can go and listen and drop the data and everything.
No data to support this.
The thing is that if I can go and detail everything and bring it to you, but I will sue you. You will pay more. I'll fine you rather. You will pay money.
I'm looking for money now, so
because it's billable hours. For every hour I used to do it, you pay per hour. You know how they go now. Anyways, man, let's get into it. So Peter Obi's night vigil comments is still a talking point. All right. If you guys recall, we discussed last week on the pod about Peter Obi's interview with the Honest Bunch. Shout out to the Honest Bunch. And one of the talking points was him saying he would rather see people at night shift working than going to night vigil like every day. And of course, there was a lot of uproar from our very passionate Christians, Nigerian Christians, including, several men of God who also had, their own thoughts. I think one of the most popular feedback or a reaction was from Pastor Ire, who is Apostle Emmanuel Ire. He is the lead pastor and founder of Celebration Church International, CCI, which is currently based in Lagos, mainland and island, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Canada, Ibadan, UK, and Ile-Ife. He's also popularly known on social media by his followers and fans and congregation or congregants, if that's a word, is it pasty or pasty?
I don't know. I'm not conversant with his...
There's an E there, so it confuses me. Steve, is it pasty or pasty?
It's past. I would take past. I don't know.
I think it's Pasty, right? Yeah, like a cool name, you know, and everything.
Yeah.
So he had his own thoughts as well. There was a video he even made. Let's just go ahead and play the video, right?
Every day on the internet, you see someone say, instead of spending all this time in church, having vigils every day. Which church do you know that has vigils every day? Some might have vigils every day for a season, but no church has vigils every day. Please don't get me wrong. I have profound respect for the person who said this. It is part of my privileged roles in Christ and in the body of Christ to set the record straight on some things like this. If churches don't have vigils every day, how often is too often? Twice a week? Thrice a week? Do you realize if you saw someone who goes to the gym every day, you won't think he's wasting economic hours? Don't you see that the bias is hidden? If you saw someone who hung out with his friends thrice a week, you say it's good work-life balance. But someone who goes to church thrice a week, we say we need to be more productive as a nation. First and foremost is the gaslighting for me. Nobody who has been in government, past or present, has the right to make such a comment. For God's sake, if the people don't go to church, have you provided jobs for them? Where are the jobs? I say this with all sense of humility. Please don't get me wrong. Sometimes the level of output in my life in 1 month, if it was someone else's highlight for a whole year, you've tried. If all you do in a year is to release an album, you've tried. You have to understand, I have like 5 full-time jobs. I believe in productivity, but please don't let anyone talk down on your devotion, your faith in the Lord. Protect it with all you have. Don't let anyone talk you out of your covering. Prayer got you here. Stick to it, oh.
Yeah, that is his comments. First of all, I just want to say this guy and his team understand what content creation is.
Look at the mood music behind that.
Fam, like this, do you understand? When I say these guys understand what content creation is, look at that mood music. The music is pulling you in. The music, bro, I was ready to get on my knees and start praise and worship right after this thing. That's how it was for me. You know, so for me, like these guys, if you really want to understand like excellence in media production, go and work in the media team of a big church.
100%.
Like of a new age Pentecostal, church.
Yeah.
When you talk about media excellence in media production, right? True. Is this guys? They have it. Better than anything. Either go and work at Mnet, go and work at MultiChoice, or go and work here. Do you understand?
And that's why a lot of them get hired for events because they know it.
Because they know,
Gospel audio production in this country
is
world class. It's world class.
I used to attend House on the Rock now, right? I used to attend House on the Rock. Let me tell you, the time the stuff is on the screen, when it's off the screen, they switch to the next thing, bro.
Bible verses, everything is.
That was what used to impress me the most. Like how this is the bar of excellence. It's like you're watching a concert, a Beyonce. You know how do you always watch the Beyonce concerts?
Yeah,
not there, but like the recap of the concert, how they
the choreography, everything.
Oh my God, they do the slow, bro. To me, it's the same level, man.
The same level, and I got to start like really realizing this and noticing this when. Like in my area in Okota, we used to have like a conversation. So there are 2 big churches around. That's my church, the Redeemed Church there, and there's a Realm of Glory there, right? And a lot of people like the Realm of Glory. People who go to the Realm of Glory, most of them started from our church, from the Redeemed Church, right? And I was having conversation not recently, like I was having a lot of conversation with people, and they told me that the reason they left my church was because of the quality of the music, right? So the thing is that our pastor at that time, Pastor Danjuma, late Pastor Danjuma, right? Oh, rest in peace, Pastor. He prioritized like the church building. He loved church buildings. He loved how like the aesthetics and like big. So he's always doing something new in the church, right? Like every year, he's always putting something together, right? And I've heard people complain that the money you're using to do this, can you use it to improve the quality of your music instruments or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because it's so poor. So I've heard a lot of people say they left to Redeem. That's
just because of the music experience.
There are many
Realm of Glory because of the music experience. And that was when I started thinking about it. I'm like, oh, no wonder these churches really invest, right? Because I have a secondary school friend in Alabama.
It's basically an inspirational concept.
His business is church instruments.
Yeah.
So he was telling me like churches in particular, and this church that you mentioned is part of them. So churches like that really invest. Like every year they're investing something into their music departments, into the choir, like the sound systems and everything. So that conversation started, like that was when I started realizing that people actually go for this experience. Like the music experience and the sound experience is like a huge factor in drawing, especially youth, like young people to church.
Yeah.
You know, yeah.
It's huge. It's huge.
When you go to some churches and you see all the choir members are using in-ears that even our Afrobeat artists are not using in Nigeria.
I'm telling you.
That, you got it to a certain level.
It's another level.
Musical experience, they are the bar of excellence.
It's the bar.
Bro.
That's why gospel music, they are the bar of excellence. Everything comes after. They are the top.
The experience is the best concert in Nigeria.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah.
Because they don't play. They do not.
And what treats me about it is the only outdoor, like most times, the only outdoor concert that we have, and it still has the best music quality. Do you understand how it is to like really enhance sound outdoor?
Yeah, outdoor is harder. But they manage to pull it off year by year. Come on.
Yeah. Even watching on TV, you still notice that the quality is
sound,
too good.
The sound is too good.
You
know, and the way they've now even enhanced, because the way I see like church services are like really good experiences of music production, or like it goes beyond music, like cinematic production, the way I see it. I mean, of course, you are worshiping God, right? But everything is so layered, it's so beautiful that you want to go there the next week, because it's for me, it's like going to a concert.
True.
And you experience a concert, you sing the songs, you sing with people, you see people cry, you see people like the guy starts preaching and the guitar just starts playing, and the guy starts revving up, and the guitar guy and everybody starts revving. Bro, it's a great experience. And that's why when they now say step out if you want to give your life to Christ, they've primed you up to the point where
they've triggered you, like emotionally. You are in the spirit. This takes me back to Afro Nation in Nigeria. One of the main reasons it didn't hold was after they haggled over the price, Burna Boy understood the impact of like Afro Nation coming to Nigeria. So I think he took out like about $600,000 from his fee and accepted the fee that they gave to him. But what really caused the issue, like the main thing that caused the issue, was the mixer, right? The mixer that Burna Boy wanted was the one he uses to perform like all these foreign concerts, right?
Yeah.
Which they also use for experience. That was when I realized that experience is really, really interesting. Like which they use for, but it's very, very expensive. But the Afro Nations guys wanted to use the normal mixer that was in. There was only one mixer in Nigeria that was at the highest quality. That was the one they used for the other concerts. And Burna Boy was like, no, he has had experience with this mixer, like I think a year or 2 years ago from that time. Remember his concert that issue. He said he's not using it. That they have to fly in, but flying in that mixer also involves flying in the operators, not just the mixer itself.
Wow.
That's the one. That's to let you know the levels, the levels.
The experience, they're spending at least $1 billion.
Thank you. Like the quality, because of the quest for quality, they go to like some certain extent to ensure that it's delivered. So that was what really, really even caused that issue of Afro Nation. So they couldn't afford to fly it in with the crew to operate and handle it. That was where everything fell apart. So that's an exclusive for you guys for Afro Nation. What happened? Afro Nation.
Shout out to you.
Yeah.
So, okay, anyways, back to Pasty. Sure. Pasty's, submission.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with some of the stuff he's saying, man. I get him, especially when he said, show me which government, past or present, right? Has done anything, has created. Like, when you say stuff like that, I have to agree with you. He's right. Like, do you think if people had jobs, basically that's my own interpretation from that point, right?
Yeah.
Of course, let's keep it a buck. In fact, let's take it from the beginning. He took Peter Obi's stuff out of context. And he took it out of context because he didn't watch the full video. He watched the clip.
He watched the clip, yeah.
He watched the clip. And when you watch a clip of something, there's no full context. So when you respond, you're also not responding to the full context. And you too, it's so that's why a lot of people said, oh, you are misinterpreting what he initially said, right? And I feel like he didn't watch the full thing before he went and reacted to it. So that's the first part. And so it means like his reaction to it, for me, doesn't hold much water because you're also not reacting to the actual thing he said, right? But beyond that, I do get his point. Show me a government, past or present, that has created enough jobs for people to go to.
Nope.
Like, why do you think people are at night vigils praying for their lives to be better?
Yeah.
They don't have money. They're looking for, money solves problems. Let me tell you, if you go to an economy, right, where everything is sorted, the amount of people going to church looking for prosperity will reduce. Prosperity
messages will reduce.
if you draw the Karl Marx hierarchy of needs, right? Is that not what they call it?
Yeah.
The higher you go, the less what you're aspiring to differs. And so if you move people from poverty line from socioeconomic line from E and you move them to C, do you understand? And the starting point for almost everybody is a C. Do you think people will still be praying for money or praying for breakthrough when they're experiencing breakthrough every day?
Yeah.
So ultimately, my own point, right, is it's up to, and I like how Peter Obi said it, because if he gets into power, he's the kind of person that he's not going to attack the church. As a matter of fact, he'll support the church. But all you need to do is create more jobs and leave it to the people and say, do you want to go to night shift and make more money to take care of your people so you can buy that car faster? Or do you want to go and, spend 8 hours praying? There's night shift though. In this night shift, we're paying, 1,000 naira per hour. What will happen? What do you think people will do?
People always go to night shift.
People always go to night shift.
People will go to night shift because there's money. And so that car payment you want, why do you think people are going for breakthrough? See, these things they are so tied and connected together. People are going for breakthrough because they want to buy a car. Somebody wants to buy a car, right? And goes to church constantly and sow seed and buy key holder. Yeah. Do you know that if that guy could, if there were monthly car payment loans or packages where they can loan you money and you pay back monthly, and then you can pay, say, 50,000 naira or even 40,000 naira monthly. Do you think that guy will be going to church to pray for breakthrough for car?
He will go to church for a better connection with his God and not for God.
Because he can afford, because his salary is imagine his salary is 400,000, right? And he takes 10% of it and pays for his car every month and he's driving the car. You get? So it is the economical situation or where we find ourselves in the country that has led people to believe that they have to constantly pray for breakthrough because he can't afford to pay 4 million naira for a car.
Yeah. Which car is 4 million naira now, sir?
Well, you get my point. You get my point.
That's insane,
right?
Sure.
It's insane. So please, what the government again and people, and I understand because you guys already know where I stand on this whole matter of church and everything. But again, one thing he said here makes a lot of sense. Show me a government, past or present, that's created enough jobs for people. And that's the question. There isn't. So the country needs to do what? Fix everything and then leave it to the people to think, to choose whether to go to night shift or to go to night vigil. That's my own take on it. I'd love to hear you guys.
It's time for the Nigerian government to do what it's supposed to do. I don't know what Peter Obi did in Anambra, but I don't think he created enough jobs that would have solved unemployment in Nigeria on a large scale, understandably. But I think Pastor Adrian is right. The government needs to do what he has to do. You can't just keep talking and gaslighting, whether it's the church or Nigerians, and not do what you're meant to do. You can tell us, you're working against inflation. You brought in $500 million FDI and all that stuff. But if there are Nigerians who can't feed themselves and their families at the end of the day, that is a significant problem. Luckily for us, a lot of Nigerians would rather tilt towards God than towards violence. There are countries that have not experienced the same harsh conditions that we've had. And bro, they pull up to the streets and whatever you see is whatever you see. And
go to Santin. Or where is it? Downtown in Johannesburg. Broad daylight, they are robbing you.
Look at Haiti. Gangs have taken over the whole fucking country. And that's why I believe when some Christians say that if not for Christianity and Islam Nigeria would have gone over, because where can people find solace at the end of the day? So it's time for the government to actually shut up and do the work. But also, we also need to understand as human beings, we need to be productive and not every day, so I want to take 3 days off because I want to go for Holy Ghost conference. It doesn't make sense. But like you said, if there are serious jobs at hand and there's productivity, people would rather go to church on Sunday than hustle Monday to Friday. Simple.
Facts.
I also believe that for you to take the contents, the comments out of context, right? It means that you really have a bias for which is your religion and your church and you didn't like this Peter Obi comments did not even need to like just be this overblown in the first place. Do you get, in my own opinion?
Because to be honest, the Nigerian church look at it as Peter Obi is an ally.
Yes, because also he was, just going back on the comments, the opinion that you guys have about governments creating jobs. That's what he was eventually saying, that when he becomes president, he's going to create enough jobs so that he will now turn night vigil into night shifts. That's what he said. That's what he said.
The church.
He didn't attack the church. It was just a bar. It was just something he was just saying.
But I guess when people misconstrue it,
thank you. And
everybody has to come and protect their own front.
Thank you. This misconstruction comes from like your bias, so coming to protect your own front, coming to defend your own religion, your own concepts, which is understandable. Do you get? But anyway, he still came back. He apologized, and people also found clip of him saying, echoing almost the same sentiments of, you can't be coming, if you come to church every day, you'll be poor. He said it.
I got you. December 10, 2023.
Exactly.
I am saying this. Listen, some people take it to the extreme. They are in church every day of the week. If you do that, you'll be poor. I'm telling you. I can almost promise you that if you do that, you'll be poor. But you see, when you always have the flimsiest of excuses to put God on the back burner, there will be consequences. Life is not like that.
Yeah.
I'm calling this guy Young. I'm calling this guy Wayo now. That's his name, Wayo. This is Young Oyedepo. I'm telling you, he's got it. This guy is going places. He's huge. And
there's a new crop.
He hasn't even I'm saying it now, right? This guy hasn't even started. This guy is not even scratching. He's barely scratching 10% of what he's going to be.
Because he's still like urban. Let me not say urban. He's still like Lagos, Abuja-ish, right?
This guy is going to be so huge, so big.
Yeah.
Like, Steve, we called this like 2 years ago.
Oh, like 3 years ago, so 2 years ago,
We had this guy like 2 years ago. I was telling
this conversation.
This guy is going to be huge.
Is it the guy that does NSPPD or something like that?
No, that's Jerry Eze. That one is no. That one is, bro. Leave that. That one is out of here, bro. That guy is YouTube.
No, that's the guy that does that's the guy that does the stuff on Instagram and YouTube, right?
Yes, that guy's YouTube page.
That guy's big.
That guy's YouTube page alone makes the revenue that thing generates every month. It's more than most companies that you know in Nigeria and in Lagos. Do you get love? Jerry is out of here.
He's huge.
There's a new victory coming up. Watch out.
Yeah.
Watch out.
The better. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, new big three.
That's true. That big three. Yeah, it's interesting.
New big three. That's a good one. That's a good one. And that's just life. Out with the old, in with the new. It always happens. You're going to cycle out, cycle in, cycle out.
Yeah.
I mean, since we're on this topic, we're talking about. I think it's only right we play Pastor Adeboye's recent comments on the Naira dollar issue.
The father of the nation. The father of the nation.
Let me play that.
Before our president came in, everybody knew that the major reasons why we were having financial problems, we'll be having it before he came in, is the fact that a lot of money was being spent to import petrol. How can we be importing petrol where we have this in abundance here? We spent billions of naira on our refineries. They didn't work. So we can be able to keep on importing. That's why when the president came in, the very first day he came, he said, this money they spend in importing petrol, he says he cancelled it. And we were all rejoicing. Hey, thank God. But some people were angry. Those who are making money from importing petrol. And And they decided, okay, we will create a problem. And all of a sudden, Naira began to go down fast. I cried to my people, let us pray. Thank God some people joined me in praying. Because the way Naira was going then, if God has not intervened, by now $1 will be about 10,000 Naira. But God stepped in.
All right.
I have a question. Please.
Yes, please go ahead.
So between Adeboye and Odumeje, who should we give credit to concerning the Naira?
That's the point too.
Because two of them are not claiming that we help one thing.
Oh, the Indaboski guy.
I'll go with my prophet. Indaboski.
Okay.
Yo, he also said something similar.
Yes, he said whenever he steps out of the country, that's when the thing rises. But whenever it comes back, it is stables.
That is crazy. That is even crazier. Because basically he just defined himself as a market force.
He's a market force.
like a living market force. You know, the market forces are like he's a market force.
He's a living human market force.
He should be very careful. I hope he has a lot of security because people will be moving in and out and round tripping the money. You understand? They will just move him out of the country. The thing will drop. They will buy. They will move him back again. The thing will go up. They will sell. As they are round tripping him, they'll be round tripping.
DSS has to watch his movements.
All right, guys. What is going on? I can go off, which is what I wanted to do, but I said no.
I have a solution.
How do we get to this level of delusion? What is going on?
I have a solution, right? I like what Adeboye said.
Yeah.
Since he prayed and it's 1-7, we now need, in the CBN, we should not create a Department of Spiritual FX regulation.
He said it's gotten to 10,000.
So we need a Department of Spiritual FX regulation where there'll be prayer warriors who will be praying daily that the Naira will come back to like 500.
Yeah, I think if we join Adeboye, if we join him in that effort, I think before the end of the year it will be 1,000. Because if like one man and his crew, he's doing this. Just imagine if 10, 20 million people join him. Osagie call it delusion. I'm not sure you're far from being like you're far off, because
it's actually not delusion.
Religion at its core is what? Like it's you're believing.
Yeah, but it's not delusion. I'm just saying it's delusion. There's no delusion here. 100% no delusion. He's 100% lying. He knows what he's doing.
No. Okay, let's not just listen.
He's selling delusion to people. No.
You don't believe it. No, Steve, doesn't mean he's lying.
Steve, I need to explain to you. Yes. I need to explain to you who this man is. This man studied mathematics at UNN.
Yes.
This man has a PhD in applied mathematics in 1975, and he has lectured maths and statistics in University of Ilorin.
Yes.
This is simple economics. This man, there is no delusion here whatsoever.
He believes so, bro.
No,
but he has a higher calling. He has a higher belief system,
guys.
More than what he has done.
I know you guys want to play the devil's advocate now, which is very nice, which I appreciate. I'm just trying to tell you, he's selling delusion. There is no whatsoever delusion this man is going through. This man is 100% fit and sane.
Why do we now draw the line? Because this is religion. It's fundamentally is driven by faith, which involves faith, confidence in something that transcends empirical or rational logic.
Which I understand what you are saying, right? Yeah. So there are things like that. Okay, let me explain to you, right? When you say you have faith and you believe and there are miracles can happen. Like, I want to believe in all that. Yes, okay, miracles do happen. Oh, this happened. Let me explain how miracles can happen in the dollar not rising, right? Let me explain to you. It is. Don't worry. Let me just explain. It's let me start like this. When you say miracles happen, oh, I had cancer. I don't have cancer again. Oh, a miracle. Praise be. Do you understand? The cancer just left. The doctor says, let me see. The cancer cells are gone. You don't have cancer anymore. Oh, I prayed. I drank the water the pastor blessed, right? Inexplicable, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't happen like that with economics. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you import 99% of what you consume and you are pegging it to the dollar, like there's no miracle. There's not. Do you understand? There's no miracle that changes any. There's nothing to change. It's market force. Do you understand what I'm saying, Ayo?
So Steve,
it's like if I give you, X is mathematics. You can't.
Steve, it's like this, right?
9 times 6 cannot, or 6 times 10 cannot all of a sudden turn to 66. It's always going to be 60. You understand that it's balance books. It's like when you remember when in business studies in junior secondary school, you had your balance book and you had your influence. What do you call it? Your credit and
debit and credit.
Yeah, like, do you understand? Once the thing, when you do the math and the thing is not correct, like it's not equaling to 0, you have to now go back to each line and see where there was an issue, because you carry your eraser if you didn't use biro to erase it. So I made a mistake here in my multiplication. Maybe I multiplied the item by 10 instead of by 4. So that then you change it and it goes back to 0. Because at the end of the day, your balance has to be, there's a balance, right? So there's no maths there. The maths there there's no miracle there. You can't miracle it and the money now was 1 million naira in your balance. When you decide. Do you get what I'm saying? You have to look like each line item and then there will be an error. That's what I'm trying to say. So you can't miracle out economics.
So you're saying that there's no miracle in macroeconomics. That way
in macro, middle, anything. you can't miracle it. That's my point. And he knows this. He clearly knows this.
Please, Tinubu, please reach Adeboye so that they can pray fervently and harder so that it will be 1 naira to $1. Because if this was the solution all the while, then bro, why are we here? Not just economy, just these 7 days praying and fasting. That's all.
I've watched this video and I'm like, this man knows what he's saying and he's just lying, straight up lying.
And this man, I'm suspecting him because also, like, people have accused you of being biased because you didn't have all these sentiments, all these placating sentiments, all this, calm down, things that God is in control, we are praying. You didn't have it when Goodluck Jonathan was president. You led a protest. You came out on a protest, right?
Steve.
And people are suspecting you. Me, I don't suspect you to.
You didn't pray it down back then.
Who's an ordained pastor in Redeemed Church?
The first lady. Every home he got.
First lady. Every home he got in. Every home he got in.
Maybe just pause like that.
No.
All right, man. This to me, this is.
After Adeboye is going to come to Oyedepo. He never reached Oyedepo yet. He hasn't talked to Oyedepo.
Remy Adekoya says, if this man believes this, he is certifiably delusional. If he doesn't, then he's abusing his followers' trust and God's name with willful deceit, which I think that's what's happening. Either we pity those who have put their trust in him. There are people that genuinely follow this man now, right? So, yes.
Osagie, what do you say? You say genuinely. This man has the largest amount of churches in Nigeria.
Yeah. So my point now is, if you work in a bank, right? You're a tithe-paying Christian. You understand? You believe in God. You're a church member, right? And this man is like your North Star to reaching God, right? And you work in the bank as a bank MD, and you listen to him say this. How do you marry both concepts? Do you understand? Because you walk in it, if it's like an everyday person that has no idea
also
how
religion.
The world works.
It's Christianity. You can't marry, like, if you have faith.
No, but the bank, I know, but Steve, the bank MD knows how the economy works.
But that's the thing.
The bank MD is not a fool. No, when the bank MD now listens to him, see, you can't convince, I'm trying to explain to you, it's not like an everyday person. If it's an everyday person that has no idea how the world works, they will say, yes, he prayed and he came down. You are a bank MD. Do you understand? Inflow, outflow every day. You they catch people who want steal money. You they give loans. You they collect loans. You have sharks. You're a bank MD, bro, right? And you attend this church, and this man says this. How do you marry both of them together now? What does the bank MD? How does the bank MD leave the church? What does he leave the church thinking?
I don't know. It's not my portfolio, so I don't know.
Because the bank MD is not going to say, this man prayed and he is trained.
But you know the funny thing?
Yes.
Bank MD goes to the church.
That's what I'm saying. If you're a bank MD that attends the church and he said this, how do you marry both concepts?
We need to ask Cecilia Ibu and Erastus because they're the people that went to his church that year. Because I don't know how he balances it, but hey, it is what it is. We thank him for pegging it at 1.7.
This video, right, I know we've been seeing like some funny stuff, but this video, it will be an eye opener to quite a number of people to say, okay, that does it for me.
Where? In Nigeria?
Yes.
In Nigeria?
Yes, sir.
Nigeria.
Yes.
You believe in Nigerians a lot? Huh?
There will be some people who believe fully in this man and what he was doing, and then they watch this. Not a lot of people. Even if it's 5 people, they saw this and said, nah, this is crazy.
My opinion, Adebo, is that when he's preaching the gospel, fire,
Yes.
Baba get out. Is this politics thing that he doesn't just have the swag to work on? He's not it at all. I beg. He should just continue the gospel and lead people to Christ. We appreciate that one. This FX he wants to enter, this economy he wants to enter, and politics, he get us to be.
This is straight up delusion. Like, and guess what? The people who had the energy, because why this video is trending is that people who had the energy towards like a Peter Obi, right, to call him out, when they see stuff like this, nobody's talking. Co-pastors are not talking. Inspirational guys are not talking. Nobody's talking. Say, nah, this is some bullshit. What are you guys talking about? No. You can't say that. You can't say this. Everybody's kind of silent and letting it go.
Osagie, what if he genuinely believes this thing?
I like studied mathematics.
Osagie, we know all of us studied mathematics here.
You know, you don't understand. I did it as a undergrad.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
This man studied mathematics and then studied stats. He know, you don't understand. You get to 300 level when you study mathematics. You don't use the calculator anymore. You are writing theories. This man is well versed. He's not a fool. Do you understand what I'm saying?
He has given up on maths. You don't believe in maths again.
That's crazy. To give up on maths is crazy. Because everything, including language, is built on mathematics.
You know what? Again.
So he just gave up on maths and said, you know what?
I'm following
I found the Lord, and we prayed that the money, it just started coming. No, it just started coming out, but people were reporting it that it's coming down. So how does it? I need to sit down with him and ask him, so, sir, when you pray, like, what then happens? Is it like the people who are buying in the forex
there's more
market,
liquidity in the market.
Yeah,
there's more
the liquidity just appears.
Is
it that the dollar just appears in the bank? How does the banker consolidate the dollar that wasn't there and there before? Like, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, guys, I stopped going to church I've started going to church again though, but I stopped for 2 years.
Yeah.
And specifically because of it, just because of the sentiments during the election. Mm-hmm. And I felt that it didn't inspire any confidence, And recently I've been looking at the whole thing. I'm like, everybody should just do their own thing. I have the rationality, I have my own understanding of how this thing works, and I can be able to pick and choose. I often give example of my parents. Like, I grew up in deeper life, right?
Yeah.
Where we had TV growing up, right?
Free will.
My dad didn't buy into don't watch TV. No, he didn't buy, and he's still a pastor in deeper life, right? Mm-hmm. So I understand the concept of picking and choosing, because God has given you that your brain, your understanding, to really look at things rationally and pick and choose what you can believe in as a Christian. We all have our personal faith, right? And that's what I've chosen to do. If he believes that, fine, that's his business. Yeah. But I understand that the concept of religion is just being delusional. So you can't blame religious people for being religious.
I agree with you. But if you're in a position of power to influence other people to be this delusional, you're building a problem.
Yeah.
You're building chaos. Like, if you believe that generally and you know it's your own thing and you go out and come in every day, okay, and you genuinely feel like you prayed and the naira came down, naira went up, dollar came down, okay, but you're telling millions of people this and for them to believe this, and then they are going back and they actually believe in this. Do you know people are making financial decisions off the thing he just said?
That's why everybody should have a brain of their own. God has given us our own unique abilities. Simple. And I don't understand. I understand how people can be influential, but we all have our own rationality and brain and thought process and the way we think, and the ability to think. God has given it to us, so we should use it more. Do you get? Don't go and make financial decisions off something your pastor said on the pulpit. No,
but you can't say that now, because I believe in God and God gave us this pastor, so I must believe in this pastor.
You believe you have to believe him up to the point. Not that you believe.
No, because what
100%.
Steve is sorry, Ayo, go ahead. I cut you. Sorry.
Yeah, you can't believe everything your pastor says 100%. You need to check with it also.
No, you guys want to eat your cake and have it. I'm not. No. You can't eat your cake and have it.
So you believe?
Are you believing in the pastor and the church or not? You can't half step.
I believe in God. Finish.
You can't half step about it. If you believe your pastor, everything your pastor says, you must believe it.
No.
The moment you question one thing, you have to take a step back.
You believe in God, and if your pastor says anything that is against God, then you can't believe your pastor now.
Yeah, but my point is, what do you know? Where is the line of against and for God? What the pastor said. Do you get my point? My point now is, the pastor said this, I don't believe it, but you believe this one. Like, everything is now questionable. Where is the line between I believe and I don't believe it?
Well, millions of people choose to believe him, sir. So,
anyways, still on, our favorite topic. Pastor Paul Eneche's wife, Becky Eneche, had this to say.
Paying of tithes. Paying your tithes, returning God's portion must be done consistently. Every time you miss your sacrifice, your tithe, you go back to square one. The ones you did before becomes nullified. It's like you press a delete button, bam. And all the work you did before, bam, it's gone.
No control.
Have you ever been typing? You are typing something. And I don't know, maybe somebody entered the room or something, mistakenly, you have typed enough text. The content of what you've typed is sufficient. And you are not saving as you are typing. Then suddenly you press delete, bam. Hey!
That's so 1993.
Bro, it's called autosave.
It's autosave.
This is MS-DOS.
It's literally called autosave. The hell are you talking about? Right? Even Google Docs saves in the cloud. Why aren't you using cloud computing and working on a document?
Oh God.
Anyways, let's continue.
My dad, sorry. My dad shared something with me. Last year, like 2023, he shared a document with me in 2023. So that the day he shared it, I opened it and I briefly, I skimmed through. I saw it, I had an idea of the content. And I moved on. Then I think December last year, I needed to use that document to do something, right? And I opened it and I saw that he had changed most of the information. He realized that the information there, maybe he didn't want me to see it, right? He had changed most of the information. Yeah. I just called him and said, "Daddy, do you know that you can go to somewhere called edit
and look at the previous information that's there?
I'll see the history." Yeah.
Oh, he was working on the Google Docs.
Yeah, he took it out. He didn't want me to see the contents of he had things to do with his gratuity, the retirement, everything,
personal information,
everything, personal information, right? Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe it's fine. He's an adult. Maybe he didn't want me to see it or something. I don't know what happened. And I said he now changed the whole thing, changed it again, and put some other things there. Blah 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 blah. I just called and said, "Do you know that I can see these things?
Like these things you are editing. I just need to go to edit history.
To the edit history,
and it just brings everything out. Like
it's well, you're my son, so you can see it." I said, "So when you were editing it, you didn't know that was your son."
You know that one, yes. You never.
Oh my goodness! All right, let's finish listening to Becky Eneche.
You can imagine how that feels. Now, what more of such a thing as your tithes? It was an unnegotiable requirement of the children of Israel. And it is still their practice till tomorrow. And so you see an Israelite in this today, and they stand out anywhere. Pain of...
Oh my God.
So she doesn't believe in Pastor Adeboye when Pastor Adeboye now said, he apologizes for telling people about tithes, and she decided to skip that one.
This one is crazy because she said once you miss it, every other one that you have put in is gone.
Is deleted.
I have a serious theory. The accounting team in the church came out and said, "Mama, we're not going to hit our target for Q4." So they need
She said, and she looked at the data, right? The guy probably was doing some exploratory data analysis and said, "Where do we have shortage?" Which tools
was the guy using?
Excel. Okay. Excel. You use Excel and Power BI.
I just wanted to mention that.
Okay. You use Excel and Power BI. Basically, And once he was doing the analysis, he said, okay, where do we have shorted inflow? He did the visualization. Madam, it's tight. Tight is coming in.
We're not going to hit target.
We're not hitting our target in tight anymore. Tight inflow from March or whenever stopped, and it's a problem. We're not going to hit targets. So
and
she said, you know what?
The
data analyst said, okay, what are the recommendations? All right, recommendation 1 will be in the message now. We have to be infusing tight in there. Pay your tithes. And then she went for it. She went for the jugular.
It's marketing. It's content marketing. You have to be putting.
She went for the jugular.
You have to be infusing. It's like SEO. You are linking.
She just optimized the message.
You have to be optimizing it.
That's it. That's it.
H1, H2, H3.
H1, H2, H3, baby. Oh man, this
you
is.
have to be internal linking to tight, internal link to tight every time, to drive your message. I'm in the era now where I'm not overthinking stuff. I'm just saying, let everybody do their own thing, and I just see that if you believe it, shout out to you, right? It's the power of the mind, power of the tongue, or whatever it is, or the power of your belief system. If you believe it, maybe it will start happening to you. Simple. If you believe that your prosperity or your wealth creation or your ability to create wealth is tied into, giving the church a percentage of your earnings every month.
Yeah.
And you really believe it and you practice it and it works, it's fine. If you don't believe it, it's fine. Like whatever it is, man, do you get? But I just believe that humans need like a belief system. I think it is what it is. Right?
I agree.
Some is science. Like some is science. Some people like really believe in theory, in science, in data, in whatever it is. Like different things drive us. So
I agree.
As long as
100%.
Yeah, it's fine.
100%. As far as thief.
You don't understand. That's it.
Not just can't thief my own money on that.
That's it. What I just advise people, and I have this conversation also like with a lot of guys. Like, you have to really sit down on your own and think and have your own belief system. Do you get what you believe in? And just live by what is right by you. That's it.
But you know what I thought of last week, actually, in the middle of work, because I was thinking of a lot of things, and I think about some things we want to talk about in the podcast. I thought about this, and it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
We have more followers than leaders. We have more betas than alphas. And that's how the world is always going to be.
It's true. That's how the world is. True. That's true.
More people will follow people.
Who
who they follow now, that depends on their own North Star,
True.
That's how life is, basically.
Yeah, it's true.
People will always, people look up, follow. Even we that we think we're independent thinkers, we're also looking up and following.
Two people, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Some people, while we are thinking independently, but we also have people that influence us and inspire us. So,
True.
whatever it is, that's it. So, yeah.
It's true. That's true.
That's it. You can't change some things.
You can't change things. Yeah.
You can't change some things.
I understand.
Right now, African nations that have a higher GDP per capita than Nigeria, right? Ghana.
What is switch?
No, because it still ties into.
No, because at the end of the day, I don't think the people who compile this data, I don't think they have enough faith. Like if you pray, you just put Nigeria as number one, and it will happen.
Yes,
you understand what I'm trying to say?
You go against math and logic. You go against math and logic and say, "I'm not in Nigeria."
I'll go against data. Just think it and put Nigeria as number one. We have the highest GDP straight up, and in the next state it will happen because we've already. Speaking into
existence. Yes.
Exactly. Yes. It is what it is.
Just pray it in. Anyways, African nations that now have a higher GDP per capita than Nigeria. 1, Ghana, $2,230. Zimbabwe, $2,088. Kenya, $1,983. Cameroon, $1,815. Benin Republic, $1,512. Uganda, $1,202. Then Nigeria, $1,110.
I put it to you that data is flawed. It's flawed.
Nigeria is now one of the poorest nations in Africa. This is a world record economic disaster.
No, don't worry. They said they bought $500 million FDI for you people. So
where? From where?
The president said it now. Whether 500 million or 300 million or something. He said it now. Said it like last week or this week. Can't remember.
Someone now said.
Go on.
Someone now said, I don't know this. I did not know this, and I'm surprised. There seems to be a lot of entrepreneurial activity in Nigeria. Is the statistic partly a function of high inequality? By the way, it was Remi Adekoya that posted the stats. He was quoting World of Statistics. So Remi Adekoya replies, high inequality, one problem on its own, right? Aside that, the country's currency value has plummeted in past 1 year. And considering Nigeria doesn't export much aside crude oil at the moment, there's been no gain from this in terms of an export boom due to cheaper local currency. Then, of course, foreign direct investment is very low.
Very, very.
So you see, these things that we are all facing, these statistics we talk, if you look at the root cause, it still goes back to some of the fundamentals we've always talked about. Exports.
Yeah.
Exports. If you keep importing 99% of what you consume and you're not also exporting anything, what do you think will happen? Anyways, Hosa Mogui says, that per capita element is another thing, Sha. Will Nigerians arrest their fertility rates long enough for productivity to have a sustainably legit shot at improving? My fear, external entertainment is costly and no one has fuel to drive anywhere. So many will focus on internal. Do you understand what that means?
Yes,
If you can't go out, you know what they say in the poorer lands, places where socioeconomical bands are the lowest, they have more children. So if there's no entertainment, there's always rice at home.
Yes, no.
If you know what I mean.
And our population growth is alarming for a country.
That's what he's saying. The fertility rate, are we going to that? And it's affecting your GDP
also, we don't have enough. We don't have enough hospitals to take care of these kids. We don't have enough schools. We don't have enough jobs. And that is what in Abuja they should be concerned about. Really, that is what they should declare state of emergency about. But say, it is what it is. They know best.
No problem with you. No problem. Anyways, speaking about Lagos, let's move to the next topic. Ayo, does Lagos smell?
Yes, Lagos smells like every mega city. Lagos smells because if you know the history of this city, Lagos has smelled even pre-colonial days. No, during the colonial era, it has had a serious issue with wastage, refuse. Now there's overpopulation, and also a lot of fumes from factories and cars and generators as well. So it doesn't really, help the ecosystem. And there's one thing annoying in Lagos, and I don't know why in 2024, when we have thinking human beings as leaders, we cannot solve this problem. Why do we have fucking open gutters in Lagos City, for crying out loud? In a country where out of 12 months, 10 months, it is very hot. So the sun will not bake whatever is in the fucking gutter and everywhere is stinking, for crying out loud. Can you not just cover your gutters? Jesus, why will you build a road and not able to cover gutters? Why? But if you go to Alausa, everything is covered there. There are wide pavements there. But somehow, when you give Baba Rafiu contract to do the road, they'll just leave the gutter open. Why? How would a society not smell? How would you people not have cholera? Lagos stinks, yeah. Other mega cities stink also because that's just normal with cities and everything. But Lagos one is special because we've not even gotten to a New York or a Tokyo or a London. We are still in a third world trenches mega city or mega rubbish wherever we are in. And again, as Osagie loves saying, just less than a mile from Alausa is the biggest fucking dump ever. You pass Olusosun like this on the express and the smell will choke you. Even if you close your window, it will enter, it will permeate and grab you by the throat. So Lagos smells, that's obvious.
I've not closed that this thing.
Bro, if you look at that place, to pack it, the logistical nightmare. I don't think they have the self-will, the discipline, or to do that. They wanted to close it, but bro, I know some days they normally burn it, but when they burn it, this white smoke now goes into the air. The whole area, the estate around that whole place, it now gets choked and everything. So we don't have today when I was on the road, I saw people were dumping refuse on a major road in Lagos. How would the place not smell? We don't have what it takes to even dump our refuse properly, take care of our refuse properly. So how will Lagos not smell? Lagos smells, man. That's the cuckoo. Even the Banana Island, Lagos is smell.
So what does it like drive? What does it like drive so much vitriol on Twitter? Like, what does it come with so much?
You know why?
So much
that whole
sentiment.
thing of, oh, you can't abuse Lagos, and down to that whole Yoruba sentiment thing that you can't do that. It's a problem. When Tinubu was governor, he tried to fix it. It did not work. Fashola was there. He tried to fix it. It did not work. I don't know who the Messiah is that will take care of this issue in Lagos, but we are stuck with it.
I don't think it will ever work because there's so many things that we need in place for you to effectively manage like a city. And we don't have it. Yeah.
We don't have it. What they're doing in Lagos right now is patch job. They're saying, this section, let's take care of this. What we need to do in Lagos is deep heart surgery, open heart surgery. Like Ralph Ragnick said, you bring out the tools, you open the heart, and you begin to start doing some very uncomfortable things towards the rich and poor areas, especially the rich areas. Until we are serious in Lagos is just going to be.
Yeah.
You can build your Eco Atlantic, you can build every other thing, but that poverty you're running away for, poverty will still creep into the most exclusive places in Lagos, and the place will smell. Lekki is a ghetto. Let's not hide any fact about anything. Lekki is the trenches. Forget anything that's telling you about it's the trenches. Forget. Build Lakwe Estate in the next 20 years. We'll have the same problem that Lagos is having right now.
Thank you very much, Ayo. That was a very good, I'll call it a rant. That was a good one.
Lagos don't tire me. I'm tired.
The Olusosun landfill in Ojota
that is
placed in the middle of the state capital in Ikeja, right?
Yes.
And so you never forget this landfill. Osagie, your kids know about this landfill. Have you told them about this?
Yes. It's now.
I'm sure your grandchildren will hear about this ground.
That's why I will sit under the tree and tell them. Let me tell you about Olusosun landfill. It's the biggest refuse site in the southwest of Nigeria.
Mm-hmm.
It is less than 4 kilometers away from the governor of Lagos's office.
Yes.
You see that refuse site? Is about 4 kilometers away from where I used to stay in Ogudu.
Yeah.
I have to close the windows in the morning at times when that smell comes, that stench.
When the wind carries it over there.
Yes. I have to close the windows of the entire house. The stench permeates all the way from Ojota into Ogudu, into Bagada at times.
That's air pollution.
And K2 and the other side.
It affects the
stench from a landfill, and it's 4 kilometers away from Alausa. Do you see how unserious these people are? Lagos is a dirty, very... Bro, at Ojota bus stop, they pour refuse at the bus stop. You know that place used to drop? They pour refuse in the middle of the road.
Yes. People wake up in the morning and pour refuse in front of major roads.
People have their bath on the road. The restaurants pour... Bro, you know the one that used to shock me the most? The restaurants, there'll be a gutter there. They won't pour the water into the gutter. They'll pour it on the road.
The dirty water, that they used to
Why did they used to do that, by the way, and not pour it in the water? Is it because the water doesn't flow?
I have no idea.
The thing is, another reason why I always
Lagosians are just dirty. These are people that throw nylon and stuff away from the bus now when they are eating.
Because there's no consequence. And why is there no consequence? Because we don't have the effective system to manage and be effective with our consequence system, right? If there's consequence, people will do the right thing. These same people will go abroad and not try that nonsense. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because the camera will just get you, get your face, get your number, get your address, and
they send you tax bill.
Yeah, everyone will be at home waiting for you. Yes. When you pay and finish.
So because somebody who's from the southeast now, who is a resident in Lagos and is even a nurse
that works with,
I believe works with the Lagos State.
She works with Lagos State government. I don't know the exact thing.
Yeah, teaching hospital or something. Yeah, or Bagada General. So one of that, right? She's clearly from Southwest with her name, right? She says, this Lagos is a smelly city. People smell, which is true. Because again, see, this thing about the economy, it is a ripple effect in different places. People can't buy deodorant anymore.
Deodorant is too much now.
Deodorants become a luxury. This is everyday Nigerians you enter bus with.
Yes.
Right? So she says people smell, the street smell, and the gutter smell. The water smells. Everything is smelly. I'm tired. Bro, when we walked in Lekki, we had to get a whole machine. You know the machine they use in making pure water? We had to get a whole purifying machine so we could use the water in Lekki.
Yes. Brown.
It was brown and smelly. She's right. Like we had to get, bro. Do you remember the machine they installed now? And then we had to change they had to change the purifiers every 3 months or something because it will go brown. And they have to change it again. If not, we're not getting clean water.
So now this is my question, right? Why will the Lagos State government approve so many construction of houses in Lekki and not ensure that there is clean water available? Well,
to be honest, I don't even think they're approving it because every 10 business days they come and say the building was not approved and they knocked it down.
They demolished it.
To be fair, I don't know if they're approving it.
I want to say something. The funny thing about Ikeja.
So why are they attacking somebody for telling the truth? And if this person was from the southwest, would they have attacked this person?
No, but because she's from Chizibu.
So
she's not Igbo actually. She's not Igbo, but she's not Yoruba. That's the thing.
She's not Yoruba. That's the thing.
So someone, one of these like psycho fans says, "Dear Lagos State, this lady that you have empowered over Aworis, Ijebus, and Egbas, and Ilajes, and other Yorubas in Lagos has now spat over your face. You are leaving the lives and economies of Lagos in the hands of people that hate their employers." Like, fam. So again, why I'm not mad at this is that this is like paid propaganda. People don't believe, the people that then go ahead and believe these things, I'm sorry for your life. But like this is just paid propaganda, right? To just initiate the whole thing. You can't attack Lagos. Yes. But when Southwesterners attack Lagos, they can't talk.
Yeah.
Right?
They attack Lagos every fucking day.
They can't attack you because your surname is
who's more Lagos than you?
Let's still try it. Or even me, because they will see the Alunga, but they will see the Osagie. They will ask, this guy, where is he from?
So I know be Edo State to come from.
We are going. They won't care where this is going.
Lagos is bad.
Steve Dede is confusing, Sha. Some people might look at this guy.
No, Ayo, it's not just. I say Ayo, Steve. It's not just by the name. They make 1 or 2 phone calls now.
Okay, just to confirm, it's true.
We know people that are friends with us that are in bed with them now.
Of course.
Did they tweet about this Lagos thing? I sent you tweets now about our friend who put. I'm not just going to call his name because he also said his own, and what he said didn't even make, because at times he tries to make sense. This one didn't even make sense at all. But that's the thing about being paid to do propaganda.
Yeah, or being involved or being around the propaganda. Or
the worst the situation is you still have to comment, but you then sound like an idiot.
But you then sound like an idiot,
which is what Adeboye sounded like. Do you understand? Because at this point, you're like, oh man, this thing has gone to 17. What can I say now?
Just to make people calm down, stuff like that.
You now have to say stuff that doesn't make sense, but you have to say it because you're on the propaganda machine. That's the problem about propaganda in a system that is constantly failing.
True. You go explain every day. You
go to explain because you are, if a system that is, in America now, there's a way you can run the bias. Because the system works. Do you understand? True. How do you run a bias when someone says Lagos smells? They say, no, Lagos does not smell. But in fact, this one did not even say, I even like how this one did not even say Lagos does not smell. Just went straight into the Igbo rhetoric or wherever. To say, you Lagos, you have... And what this person did here was, for every other person that wants to comment, this is what we do. This is This was a tactful...
Yeah, it's tactful response. Yeah.
I hope the girl is okay. I hope she's not fired. But I trust Lagos.
No, she dropped a rejoinder.
And she apologized.
She apologized. She had to do a rejoinder,
She apologized.
They came for her. The pressure was too much.
Too much.
The pressure was too much. They came for her. They came for her job. Everything. I know this kind of pressure. When the calls come in, when your boss is... When they tell your boss is going to lose his job, his or her job. Do you understand?
Well, what people fail to realize that this girl is a nurse. She's in healthcare.
Taking care of you.
If you sack this girl, how many people do you think can come and take her job?
These guys don't think this way, my brother. They don't think this way. You're right, because this is delusion.
It is.
Big one.
And then she was bullied. And she was bullied. And she was bullied. And she was bullied. And they didn't stop. And they didn't stop.
Somebody
said, let's go to Bagada Hospital. Let's go and protest.
That's what someone said.
Yeah, so under that suite.
That was not cooking. That was high.
Oh my God.
I see these things. I see it in every religion, right? Like when we always talk about it on this podcast, where people just make themselves like a a warrior, a fighter for their religion. Like you say something bad about the Igbos, and there's certain tweets, certain accounts that will come after you, blah blah blah. Yeah. And I'm like, what puts you in the position where, a rhetoric or something, an opinion about your people just hurts you so much that it disturbs your entire existence? Like, how do you get to that point of...
No, some people really take this thing seriously. Some people, some people really take tribe and religion seriously. Like, they really do. Like, they really do. They like wake up today and say, you know what, I'm a proud Igbo man. I'm a proud Yoruba person. I'm a proud...
Bro,
really?
Should I tell you how scary this is?
People say, oh, man, I'm a proud Igala man. You know where I'm from. Like, bro, you guys really take this thing serious. It's 2024, right?
Yes.
They're building robots and AI that's going to like replace. Do we understand where we are?
You know what scares me about this thing? You think it's on this macro, like Yoruba, Igbo, our people and level.
Nah, bro, this thing is deep.
Bro, I'm on Facebook. And I'm seeing people from my town, like Agbo, right? I'm seeing like in Agbo, like different township, different people, like Eka Northeast, Eka South, like different communities. And I'm seeing a particular person, two persons actually, who are very, very passionate about their own community, right? Really coming to take a stand, right? Against a rhetoric against the community. Like just something on that level. And they're talking about the history of the community, how the community is the best, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I was asking someone in my secondary school group recently, I'm like, is this guy like a traditional ruler? Does he work for a traditional ruler? No, he said no, I think he sells like bikes, It's okay. So how does this really affect, like, how does it shake his existence, right? Like, every time you go on Facebook, he's arguing about a community, he's the superiority of his community over another community. Like, he's always arguing against it. And that's what scares me. So it's not even happening on that macro level. On a micro level, on that like internal level, it's still happening within communities, even with same tribe. And I'm like, where does this end? Do you understand? Like,
it doesn't end, though. It doesn't end. And it's not peculiar to, only Nigeria. This is happening across board.
It's happening everywhere. It's happening everywhere.
It's happening across board. It's happening across board. Yeah. Someone says they offered the lady the opportunity to
go abroad. That's so easy. That's so person they go abroad.
That's so easy. Yeah.
That's so easy. How do you?
That's still running.
Everything is still agenda.
If you believe someone prayed the naira to 17, I'm going to believe this. I'm sorry.
I agree.
Pick your delusion. That's the name of this episode. Pick your delusion.
No.
Anyways, she said, she also responded, So she also says she's not an Igbo girl, but she loves her Igbo family. She's apparently from Igala. Anyway, shout out to her. If you were bullied into another country, hey man, all the best for you.
All love.
Yeah, hopefully where you're going to.
Maybe as a nurse, in 3 years you buy your house and your cars, like that young man that tweeted.
Yeah, shout out to him, man. You're in a less smelly place.
Why is that? Why is there anytime it's someone like that does, like, anytime there's a tweet like that, it's always people who are in and is this
wait, did they attack him?
You always start with like the supporters of the current government. Somebody going abroad to make
it mortgage. Say no mortgage.
Not an indictment of your. I don't understand. It's not an indictment of the government you support. What's it concerned to Nubu with person when travel?
Wait, did they attack the guy?
Yes,
bro. Not like it wasn't as it wasn't as massive as the guy the other one that tweeted about the house in the UK. Where someone came and broke it down and said, this is mortgage, blah, 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 blah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It wasn't at that level. It wasn't at that level. Yeah. Right? But you could see some small comments from small accounts. You see them, they're like tribal accounts. They're also like, pro-government account. I'm like, how does this thing, bro? Like, see, bro, social media and some recent happening in the world.
It's not, so it's they're paid.
Osagie, no. You really rate people.
No, these guys are paid.
But you saying they are paid, it means you really rate them.
How many?
You think people genuinely think like this?
Yes. You see,
that's the problem.
They just take it upon themselves to just
take your delusion.
Like the guy that tweeted who did the breakdown of the mortgage. Immediately I saw the tweets. Before I click the person account, I know that the person's supposed to know. I know, like immediately I clicked and I saw
Oh
was
my
one of the
God.
first 3 tweets I saw him insulting obedience. I'm like, okay,
okay, yeah. On brand, very on brand.
I didn't take it seriously anymore. You know,
okay, so you're just saying that they look at it as left and right. Okay,
thank you.
Against.
Yes.
You travel, you're doing better. You're definitely against.
Against us.
It's insane, bro. Like, you know.
Oh my God.
And it was interesting looking at those comments and seeing people and seeing their opinion about like mortgages. I'm like, well, Nigeria really did a number on also. Like
yes, it did.
Nigeria fucked us up online.
Yep.
Like the psyche, the way people think, the way we think this country fuck us up. It's
done us real bad. There's a lot of unlearning. It's done us real bad. Nigeria, you have to hustle to buy your car complete. Hustle to pay your rent complete. Hustle to buy your house complete. Hustle to buy your phone.
If you can't borrow, you can't miss one payment.
You're in trouble now. Lakpo. And they find you. Lakpo go then. You'll start using Photoshop to design your obituary.
Your obituary,
bro.
We come from a place where if you miss your
payments,
monthly loan repayments, they announce your obituary.
Or they say you have AIDS.
Do you understand? If you miss your loan repayment, they call your loved ones to shame you that you've missed your. So, do you think when you travel to a country that says, "Oh, here's a credit card, you can always take from it," and do you think you spend? It's trauma. I don't know. It's trauma.
Osagie, the concept of you before taking a loan, we have to have access to your contacts. Do you understand?
Yes. Before you take a loan, we'll have to ask access to your contacts and your media.
What is what cartel you're doing business with?
This is cartel.
Let's say you enjoy courts.
No, you're taking a loan from the mafia.
Let's say can I invite to come court because
no, but this is how the mafia used to give people loans back then. Yes.
They'll know your family members. They'll know all your family members.
Yes.
So if you miss,
this is it.
They're going to pull up on your mom.
Yes, before I issue a loan to you, I must have all the numbers of everybody on your phone and your media gallery.
Nigeria fucked us up.
So I can quickly take your latest picture and design an obituary.
So the mafia loans.
Bros, I say I got an obituary of someone I called. I
remember.
You know, obituary, I had to call the number again, you know, which is crazy because you think someone is dead and you're still calling the number to confirm. Side talk. Being a journalist back then, I don't think I've told you guys the story, or maybe I have. There was a story that I don't know. There was a rumor that Funke Kuti, shout out Funke Kuti, that her mother had passed away.
Yeah.
Right, there was a rumor that her mom has passed away, right? And you know, she used to put her mom on Instagram. I used to follow, you know, as the entertainment journalist, you're following up on everything.
Following everybody.
I think I was at Net at the time. So I quickly picked up my phone. I have Funke Kuti's number. I used to have almost everybody's number because my boss used to send me the numbers as well.
Everybody. He has to connect with everybody.
He used to connect me. Shout out to him. So I just picked the phone quickly, Funke Kuti, and said, "Oh, good morning. I'd like to speak to Funke Kuti." And the person said, "Please go ahead." And I said, "Yes, I've seen a rumor that your mom has passed away. Sorry about that. I just wanted to call to confirm if it's true. Do you have any statements?" And the person said, "Oh, this is her mom speaking."
Well, that's a confirmation,
bro.
That's a confirmation.
It was so funny because I had to now start spending the next few minutes apologizing. I'm so sorry, man. I saw it. I just want, and you know, I sounded like a fool on the phone that day.
No, you just reminded me something about your boss giving you like contacts. I remember Mr. Yenia Dekule gave me Pasuma's number when I was doing a Pasuma story.
Okay.
And I called Pasuma. You know, I went to visit him too.
Yeah.
And 2 months later, Pasuma called me out for a drink. And I went.
For real?
Yeah, I went to drink with Pasuma now.
He just called me and said, "Yo, Steve."
He stays in Okota now. He stays in
really?
Canale State at that time. Yeah. So
okay.
we went to a bar and I go to hang out. I hung out with Pasuma for 2 hours.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. That's dope. He just called you randomly. Steve,
randomly,
Sure.
It was infusing Yoruba. Like, I'm not sure till after we hung out. Like the last time we saw, that was that day. He knew that I wasn't Yoruba. Like he could realize I was, because anytime he was speaking, he was just infusing Yoruba. Me, I just used my.
He just carried the thing. I solo like his solo. Oh Oh my
So shout out
goodness.
to Ayini for that plug. There are 3 numbers he gave me like that. Like I'm like, so you just have these people's number. But Ayini was a G.
No, he used to have, ATG had everybody's number.
He had everybody's number.
I'm telling you, everybody, and I'm talking from entertainment to like everybody in
so
see,
corporate Lagos.
I need somebody in MTN, blah blah blah. Just send you the number.
This, like, oh my.
Oh, I need someone GT Bank something. You just send you the number.
Crazy.
He had everybody's contacts.
OG.
Yeah, that's an OG, triple OG.
Yeah.
Oh, more. That was interesting. Hanging out with Pasuma for 2 hours is crazy. First of all, like how many people were coming to take like snaps and selfies and stuff with him?
Exactly. There were he had like we're like 10 to 14. Like there were a lot of boys. Even when we came there, some guys came also. Some guys
just to come and hang out.
Just to come around him there. Some people were just, coming to say hi. Not really selfie because you couldn't get that close because
close to him, yeah. They were just hailing him.
They were just hailing. There was a lot of hailing. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, rolling with an artist is interesting. I've rolled with a couple of artists before, A list, B list, and C list.
Yeah.
It's I understand how they live. It's a roller coaster life, bro.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
sure.
like
it's fast.
Yeah, when I was a journalist, I had like some days off, and I could just hang out with artists because I had hours off that I could just, bro, like you go from this spot to this spot to this spot to this spot. You're just moving, you're moving here. This is happening. You're eating. You're getting access to some VIP treatment. You're just moving.
Yeah.
It is fun. You're always in the car. You're moving to the next place. Everything. The doors are just opening. Like I experienced that, and I was like, okay, I understand what artists or entertainers go through. Because it's it's a different. They're living in Lagos with you, but it's entirely different. Their own version of Lagos is entirely different from what you're experiencing. I did that a couple of times, and actually, it was actually fun to hang out with artists.
Artists,
all right, man. Let's get into some pop culture. John Boyega. If you guys don't know who John Boyega is one of Hollywood's finest
please come to the front of the auditorium.
Yes, as a writer, as a movie writer,
as your industry.
No, we are a subsect.
As a movie writer, please stand in front of the podium.
We are the renegades of Nollywood. So thank you.
John Boyega says Nollywood cannot necessarily collaborate with Hollywood cannot necessarily collaborate with Nollywood because they are making stories. Because Nollywood is making stories for themselves. There was this video that shout out to Zikoko. A lot
of people had that video, not just Zikoko shot. Post had it. I'm sure.
Okay. I think the one that went viral was.
It was from Afrif, right?
Yes, it was from Afrif.
It was from Afrif. It wasn't even Zikoko video that I watched. Even when I was also looking for the story for the script, it wasn't also the Zikoko video. But I went to look for that Zikoko video because of the angle, right? Let's put it up there. But
I like what he said.
Let me. Do you guys want me to play what he said?
Yeah, please.
He was at the Africa International Film Festival 2024. Right. Shout out to Afrif. Afrif was founded. Afrif, like I said, Africa International Film Festival. It's an annual festival that takes place in Nigeria. Was founded in 2010, and was founded in 2010. I also want to give a shout out to the convener, if I can get her name. Yes, it was founded by Chioma Ude, a passionate filmmaker or film buff and entrepreneur. And it's one of the film festivals that has done really well and it has been quite consistent. I think it wasn't held for a couple of years or something, but it came back again. And John Boyega was in John Boyega. Why do we say John Boyega? John Boyega.
Boyega.
Thank you. Boyega was invited to Afrif, where he talked about how hard it is for Hollywood to collaborate with Nollywood and what he thinks can be done to bridge the gap. Quite a long video, it's about 2 minutes, so we'll play a bit of it and then we can talk.
So this is stuff that I've heard, and this is coming from studio execs, studio CEOs of some of the biggest on the Hollywood side, as well as the crossover to the UK industry. Now there is an intrigue because Nigerians are Nigerians. I believe we are the jewel of Africa, and we are very charismatic and loud in a good way. So people know of us. But when it comes to storytelling, the quality, editing style, the dialogue in which the way it's written, the understanding of stories. People seem to think that on the bigger scale, they can't collaborate with you guys because you're genuinely making stories for yourselves. And because you're making stories for yourselves, I guess everyone's patting themselves on the shoulder and saying, you were great, and I was great. And it removes the hard conversations that usually happen in Hollywood. And they're very hard conversations that creatives have to go to. And so a lot of studio execs that I've worked with or developed projects with have an interest to come into Nigerian film, but somewhere along the way, that interest just dwindles because of either somebody else they've spoken to that's had experience, and all of a sudden they go, nah, we're not gonna shoot there. We'd rather go to South Africa, paint the sand red to look like it, and then shoot there. I mean, the same thing happened in Woman King. There was big aspirations to shoot as much of the film on the continent as possible, but specifically to shoot some key scenes here in Nigeria. And I was excited to hear about that because that would be my second time working in Nigeria. And as the process went along, it started to get a little bit quiet. I'm looking at my schedule, I'm like, okay, we're in South Africa, we're just in South Africa. And for me, there's an authenticity here, even with the air, the environment, that should be captured. But unfortunately, because of people's perspective and assumptions, whether it be crew quality, actors too, there's things being said about your egos and the way it worked, that it would probably be hard to work with you guys because of the sense of success and pride, which you should have, by the way. But in the spirit of collaboration, people don't really believe that it's possible. And some people take risks. Thank God for our production team of Half Yellow Sun, who, and by the way, it's because we had Nigerians involved that were at the forefront of funding that we were able to be here for the whole entire thing. But on a scale that I see for all of you guys, it's simply not happening because of these stereotypes also that are being put out there about the quality of filmmaking. And even, with the Netflix deals, like round of applause for the next Netflix deals that's been able to expand the storytelling.
All right, man. That's John Boyega's thoughts on why it's a bit difficult, well, it's hard for Hollywood to collaborate with Nollywood. Basically, what he said in that very well put together speech was, your movies and storylines are below par, the production is way below par, and your actors have massive egos. But I'll leave it to Ayo to give his thoughts on it.
So if John Boyega ever decides to quit acting, I think he should go into international diplomacy. Because basically what he told those people there was, fuck your shit, you guys are playing on a small level. And this is what we'll be telling Nollywood for a while. I remember when he came to Nigeria to promote the movie he acted in, and he was the executive producer, Pacific Rim 2. And he said that the problem, that Nollywood has a talent problem. That the reason why, that if they bring a Hollywood production into Nigeria, that's a miracle if the crew will have to be foreigners. And the best that he can do, if he's an executive producer, is make sure that there are Nigerians shadowing them and learning from them. Mm-hmm. Now, we don't have the capacity yet to shoot a movie in an international movie. We don't have a big studio, right? Where we can say, okay, there are different, we can just enter like a movie town and just shoot what we want to shoot, basically. Shout out to the film villages, but those are still film villages. We need movie production towns on their own, where hundreds of people are employed just to make one movie. We do not have that. Our actors are not trained. Hollywood actors go to school to go and learn acting. Acting is not, they gave birth to him, he can act. No, it's not that way. You might have the talent and it's raw, but it needs to be refined. You need to know how to act. And we don't have acting. We don't have great acting in this country. We do not pay attention to storytelling. Our storytelling is still very poor. Very, very poor. A Nollywood producer will go and meet a scriptwriter and say, I need a script for you in 3 weeks. It's not done. It's not done. It's not magic. It cannot just happen at the end of the day. We don't have the facilities. And that's why when Hollywood comes to Africa, they go to South Africa. South Africa, in terms of production, TV production, movie production, South Africa is way ahead of the continent. We can only dream on what South Africa is doing. And that's it. I know there are too many egos in Hollywood. They do a stunt of a car somersaulting. And oh my Lord, this is the best director. Bro, that's bullshit. You tell an actor, you criticize an actor that, oh, the acting is not good. They insult you on Twitter. Nollywood is the worst creative industry in Nigeria that refuses to take criticism. If you go and say, oh, we don't like Davido's album, it's finished. Davido is not going to go and come out and kill you. But once you say we don't like a movie, the director will come out, the actors will come out, the producers will come out. And they feel like, oh, we are bigger than what we are. And that's because sometimes we hype them as, the world hype them as the third most prolific industry or the most prolific movie industry in the world apart from Hollywood. But which movies are we even producing? They are trash. They can't go out internationally. And Boyega, I think because maybe he's Nigerian, he's vested in Nigeria, I don't want to be very harsh. He told them the truth. Look, this is what it is. You guys are doing rubbish. With Netflix now, we are beginning to see small attempts for people to start making sense. But overall, bro, we are still 1995 with better cameras. That's all.
Question for Ayomide Tayo.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Do you
sir.
think
Yes, sir.
Nollywood peaked commercially too early?
I don't. Well, what you mean?
Because I believe that
I think
because of the commercial success they found early in the early 1990s, right?
Yeah.
I think it prevented a lot of growth. That's what I believe. I believe then the intention now changed to it now became like a money-making venture over the years. And that is why creatively there've not been a lot of growth in the film industry in Nigeria since 1995.
Also, we have to look at the financiers. Who were the financiers of these movies? These guys were not movie heads. These guys were businessmen, some selling spare parts and everything, and they did not understand the rudimentary aspects of filmmaking. Therefore, you could go and tell the director, oh, shoot a film in 2 weeks now. What is this thing? Oh, you can tell Genevieve to act 5 movies in 3 months. It's no big deal. And they watered down the craft of movie making. If you go back to 80s and 70s, that was peak Nigeria in terms of
creatively.
In terms of TV, what we're shooting on TV. Look at, we always mention Things Fall Apart. We didn't have that, and Nigeria just continued, and we took those bad habits from Nollywood, and now we don't pay attention to acting. If you look at the way they cast people now, they cast you based on how many numbers you have on social media, which is unbelievable. The stories are not well written. The directing is bad. So what I do now is that every 2 hours, I take out 2 hours of my day and I watch tutorials on YouTube about editing and writing and how to create characters. Bro, I keep saying it. Nigeria has not gotten to 40% of where Hollywood is. Even the editing choice, whether this particular scene, this character, you're filming the guy on close-up or mid-close-up or long range, we don't know all that. We don't know all that yet.
So is it a technical debt problem?
There's a technical debt problem.
Yes,
all
100%.
across board. From the guy holding the light to the main actress, to the lead actress, and to the lead actor. What we are running off is passion. We're not running off knowledge and technical skills.
Which is what we did with Afrobeats as well, but we did it in a way. What happened was that the world was also reversing in terms of music production. They were also going from big studios to making the beats in their houses and everything.
In your houses,
and which is where we started from. So they kind of met us there already, right?
Yeah. So then we could now, but now we don't.
But you can't wing that in Nollywood because productions telling visual stories is different.
It's different. I watched the breakdown of The White Lotus season 1 and season 2.
Yeah.
Bro, if you see the acting that I didn't even catch, the micro expressions on the faces of the actors, the gestures, we don't have that. In Nigeria,
how A24 shoots their movies.
Yes, in Nigeria, we believe a good actor is an actor that can cry or shouts loud, that just screams all over the place. No.
I was watching a Nollywood film yesterday. It was called Momiwa, right?
Yeah.
Yabo Ojo was in the movie, everything. Like I kept, I was with my family and I kept saying, why are they shouting?
Bro.
Like why they were constantly shouting.
They don't know that.
To express their passion. They were just constantly,
The mic will pick up the slightest tone. So just scream a little bit. The mic will do the job.
They were just constantly shouting.
Yeah. We don't have it. We don't have it. We don't just have it.
We ain't got it.
We ain't got it at all. And there's nobody that says, oh, let's do this, do things the right way. We don't have a proper film school. Like we don't have proper film institutions where.
Do we have a film school in Nigeria?
We have plenty.
Like the New York film, like the New no.
Over the years,
the closest is Del York.
Del York is there. Mnet has one.
Yeah, Mnet has one. Pepsi is one, but I don't think Pepsi is international standard.
No, it is not international standard.
The oldest is in Jos.
I wonder how Pepsi will look like nowadays.
The oldest is in Jos. The oldest is in Jos. So that does like TV and film, but you know that's government owned, so there's nothing. We don't have a New York. We don't even have a South African standard. Places where clients Peters went to go and learn.
Yeah.
We do not have that. Then again, do we not have the resources? Where is our film? You know, when you watch Yankee movies, you see all these big warehouses where they're going to go and shoot scenes. They create their own scenes.
We don't have those spaces.
There's a series I'm watching right now.
But we have like the geographical space.
We have the geographical space. Now, who's going to build those places? Power those places, because those places need electricity. They need electricity to run 24/7.
That electricity where you just call now.
The cost of running diesel of gen or whatever it is, or even
it's bigger than the movie budget.
It's bigger than the movie budget.
There's a series I'm watching.
Where do we even start from?
There's a series I'm watching now. It's called The Franchise. It's a satire on superhero movies, how they make superhero movies in Hollywood. I think filmmakers should watch it. It's very, very funny. And you will see a huge building and say, they are shooting a movie there. Or if you get your hands on the behind the scenes of Game of Thrones the last season, please go and watch it. And you'll know that we are not scratching anything in this country at all. What Nigerians are very good is we are loud. We know how to make noise. So when we shoot a film, Jago Jago 2, out everywhere. But if a Hollywood editor looks at Jago Jago 2 or Jago Jago 1, he will shake his head. He'll be like, nah, fam, this is not it. Or the DOP, bro, or the way you light the scenes, or the way the characters are written. It's not it at all.
It's the writing. That's it for me. The writing. Yeah. The writing and the storyline. Like the movie I was watching yesterday, the writing was very great. Then in the last 15 minutes, it's like they rushed it.
They all do that.
It's like they shot so many scenes, but they now took so many scenes out. So it then looked like the story just looked rushed. You know, the conclusion of the movie was very weird. But yeah.
So we don't, and it's too capital intensive. And Nigeria as it is right now,
there's no money. And it's even worse now.
It's worse now.
But can't we now lower, in terms of like capital expenditure, can't we just like tell stories that do not require that amount of money again?
So we need to
remember the
drama.
Zendaya Washington movie where they came back from a party. They shot they shot everything in the house around the kitchen area.
So
why can't we now start doing movies that do not require us spending that much?
But guess what?
Thank you, Osagie.
Let's go
like
back.
Parasite. How much did Parasite cost again?
It's cheap.
Exactly.
To average Hollywood movie. But guess what? Go and watch Zendaya and JD Washington. Look at their acting. That acting is not something.
That movie, right? Thank you.
You cannot say, oh, okay, let's bring one girl from the street. That acting
is intriguing.
It's top tier. That's top tier acting. That's acting that they must have rehearsed till they were tired.
Bro, I don't see.
We don't have that patience. We don't have that patience in Nigeria. You now use 2 months to shoot in the same house, one scene over and over again.
The acting in Nollywood, bro, like you just be watching.
There's a skill problem.
Yeah, it's a skill problem.
It's a skill problem.
And you know why there's a skill problem too? Is one because we don't have the patience to develop things. And also people are not financially equipped enough to take the long road.
I don't think it's not financially equipped enough, although that exists, but that's not the reason why it's not there. The reason why it's not there is you don't have the guardrails anymore. Because if you're not a good actor and you went for the audition and say, oh, thank you, but you're not good enough, you go back and upskill yourself and train yourself again. But, you have a lukewarm performance and say, oh, you come on board.
Yeah.
What happens? So you're not even motivated to go and upskill yourself and try to say, you know what, I need to get to the best. It's like joining SWAT. You're a regular police officer, you want to join SWAT, you fail the test. Because what do? The next round, you go and prepare, you work harder, and then you are fit enough.
Yeah, but guess what? You know what happens in Nollywood? Yeah. The actor is good, you not get on set. First day you shoot, second day, where's the actor? The actor has gone to another set in Ibadan to go and shoot. So they are shooting 2 movies at the same time.
Oh my God.
There's no way you can interpret that.
There's no way you can even interpret that character. Because I've been heavy on the media run for Gladiator 2, right? And I've been listening to a lot of.
This is one of Denzel's most light-hearted,
Yeah.
So
it's also the age.
Ask the question.
He's freer.
Why is Denzel so happy now? Before, Denzel used to come out and do press and now Denzel is laughing. He's cracking more jokes. He's cracking jokes with everybody.
I think it's the responsibility. He's the one selling the film. Right?
Yes,
I'm hearing that the film was even shot without him and it was a shit show, so they brought him in.
Thank you. That's what I heard too. So the Scott really needed him to come in and
save the day.
To save the day. Yeah. And like I've been seeing and learning a lot about character development, how you even develop a character way before you guys start shooting. In terms of them going to speech classes, going to going to Rome, reading, going to library to explore content and historical references from those times, right? There's a lot that goes into these things, and I don't think we even have the sophistication and the processes to even achieve that as a film industry in Nigeria. And it's just so sad, it's sad.
And a country where you people don't focus on stage, theater acting, you're not going to get to right acting wise.
Look at Denzel is going back to play Shakespeare.
Yes.
Othello.
Denzel can quote Shakespeare lines he learned 30 years ago.
30 years ago, when he was 20.
He did one recently for Apple.
Yes, on the Graham show. On the Graham show.
No, I'm even talking about one. He did one Shakespeare movie.
Oh, he did the Shakespeare. Macbeth. Yeah, he did Macbeth. Yeah.
And I read all those books, man. I have the collection here.
Bro, we used to watch
Othello.
I remember in primary school, they used to bring in a TV for us to watch Shakespeare.
Yeah.
I bought those books for my kids.
Yeah.
For you to cram Macbeth that you still remember 30 years ago, that means you must have acted.
That means you must acted the rehearsals and the stage play. Yeah. I go back. I was reading this Hotel Rwanda, what's her name now?
I know the actress. I know that.
Yeah, the Nigerian born. And I was reading about how she went, how English actors go through theater and how they just come through a film school and go on theater runs. And that really kind of shapes you. And that's why you see brilliant film talents from the UK. All of them.
Yeah, Damson Idris, John Boyega, all theater babies.
All of them.
They don't do theater.
Very, very, very talented. And
that's what I was saying. That if Nancy Seaman really wants to improve, because I feel like she has a lot of potential. I like her.
Yeah, I like her.
She needs to go on a 1-2 year theater run.
Simple. Every December, in Nigeria, in December, there's a lot of theater plays around.
Because the theater is the most humbling place for an actor.
There's no hiding place, bro.
There's no hiding place. Then you have to give your all.
You will suffer.
There's no take one, take two. You have to
It's one take. It's one take, and it's the furnace that you have to go through to then improve.
Just for the evidence is there. Just go look at the best actors in Nigeria from Nigeria.
They came from theater.
Olu Jacobs,
Silva,
RMD also did theater runs also too.
Yeah, yes.
Bimbo Akintola she did theater art in school. You just look at this.
Lala
Akindoju. You see them.
Steve, that thing you said now. If you notice, the early years of Nollywood, when they're bringing out the best movies, the actors study theater arts.
They study theater arts. The actors, I'm sure the personaires, not just the actors, everybody.
But now,
theater arts.
who they study theater arts now in Nollywood?
Now, Big Brother, they study. Just study Big Brother, you'll be fine.
Then you're not gonna do a movie.
Yeah.
You're not putting in a movie because you have 2 million followers.
And someone, some will give their 45%, but they will make it look like the person gave 85%.
Yeah, exactly. And the worst thing about being a good actor in the midst of awful talent is that you are going to suffer. You can't carry the movie. You can't.
Yeah.
I can't remember one movie where some kids were acting with Denzel, and they said, "Oh, we have to get our lines right because this is Denzel. We do not want to waste his time.
Yes,
we have to get our lines right." So,
Training Day is not just Training Day because of Denzel. Obviously, he is, but Ethan Hawke also delivered.
Ethan Hawke killed it, man.
He killed it. They said Denzel suffered that guy during the audition.
They said he suffered him.
Denzel they abused him. Well, let's put the anger in him.
Do you get? So it's
Training Day is a classic, man.
It's a classic. I can't. You think about a movie, you see, this movie is personality driven. It's driven by the person that played it. It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, Training Days.
But overall, where do we Because it's not every time we just sit down and say and talk about government. Overall, as a people, as a country, how do we just raise the quality of everything that we do?
Can I just play that scene from Training Day, please, before we talk about the quality?
Please do.
The greatest. This is the Oscar-winning scene.
Please do.
You don't deserve this.
Okay, you motherfucker. Jake, go ahead and bounce on me. Get up out of here. We got your back.
What?
Just like that.
Oh, no, you didn't. Wait a minute. No, you did. Hey, Jay! Hey! Jay! 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 Come back here! Jay! You disloyal, fool-ass, bitch-made punk. Jay! I need my money! Jake! Oh, you motherfuckers. Okay. All right. I'm putting cases on all you bitches. Huh? You think you can do this shit? Jay! You think you can do this to me? You motherfuckers will be playing basketball in Pelican Bay when I get finished with you. Shoe program, nigga. 23-hour lockdown. I'm the man up in this piece. You'll never see the light of day. Who the fuck you think you fucking with? I'm the police. I run shit here. You just live here. Yeah, that's right. You better walk away. Go on, walk away, because I'm going to burn this motherfucker down. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
OG.
That's Oscar on the tail. He needs another one.
It's coming for this one. It's coming. They said that lobbying for him. They said that lobbying for him hard for this one. So
he won Bex. Did he win Bex? He won Best. That was it. Best actor he won for.
Yes, Best actor. Yes.
King Kong ain't got shit on
Best supporting actor in 1988 and Best actor in 2001 or 2002. Man, that's dope. That's dope.
Nah, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Although you should have won for Flight too, Sha. For Flight is
Flight was amazing, man.
Flight was amazing.
Flight was amazing. Yeah. Flight was amazing. Anyways, man, let's get into our last topic. I actually wanted to go on a rant about music, but I'll do that next week. So with some other topics. But yeah, Punch newspaper, one of Nigeria's most popular news dailies. Nigerian newspaper dailies put out a report on Nigerian women selling their nude photos online. The title of the article is "Desperate Nigerian Girls Turn to Selling Nudes for Cash." It was published on the 16th of November, and it was written by a Victor Ayeni. All right, I will read the lead of the article. It says, amidst Nigeria's harsh economic realities, an alarming number of youths have turned to selling explicit content on various online platforms, often disregarding the far-reaching consequences of their actions on their lives, reputation, and mental well-being, writes Victor Ayeni. And then he goes on to discuss and detail the phenomena around, online sex work, if you want to call it like that. I don't know if it's sex work you want to call it, but like selling, pornographic content. That's how you have to describe it as well, even though it's your content, but like selling pornographic content, creating communities, having subscribers and having people pay for you. I read the article last night, and I think it's a story that should be told. I think the story that be shown because it's something that is happening, right? I think if this Time Magazine, etc., all these guys, they've written about OnlyFans, they've written about how do you describe it now? Sex. What's the way they describe? It's tagged sex entertainment, right?
Sex work, adult entertainment.
Thank you. Selling adult entertainment online, right? Like it's a story. And why the story is very popular because it has existed, but is now very much on the rise. I believe, Ayo, and I'm not sure, you did write a story about adult entertainment about a specific person. What was his name again?
Hold on.
The guy who used to do the pornographic content and sell it.
I wrote an article about him, but I also wrote about the adult entertainment industry in Nigeria that was upcoming at the time.
Yeah, this was how many years ago? This is like 6 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, about 6 years ago, you wrote this article. I remember reading an article.
For context, also written about like they've been countless articles about coverage about internet crime, also, right?
Yes. Of course.
Exactly. So
yeah, I don't even want to get into that place you are playing in yet, Steve.
Yeah,
you understand? I didn't want to do a we versus them thing. I just wanted to talk about how it's an interesting. So if you read this article, I like how the guy writes it, right? I don't know. The only thing I see here is that the guy didn't specifically mention that he tried to reach these people for comments and stories, right? So he didn't specifically mention it. But what he did was he went to public platforms where these people had discussed and talked about some of the things he's writing about. And then he used their comments, right, to buttress or to sort of like give commentary to the points that he raised. Right. So whether they were replying somebody on Twitter or they put a video out, like a lady put a video out explaining how she started this business. And then he took those comments and those quotes, which makes a lot of sense. So I read the article. I liked the article. It was well grounded, the way he explained everything. He also reached out to like people who are tech advisors, like he reached out to somebody who is a tech advisor and a nudist, right? Who was able to explain that, it's far easier for her to post test traps on, Twitter X than elsewhere. Like he did a lot of breakdown. There were a lot of, subtopics in it. He talked about adult merchandise. He talked about attracting praise and ridicule. He talked about like more nudists now emerging, right? So they're like popular ones, but like new ones have now emerged to even disrupt the current market, right? They're charging more and they're, being more explicit. And that has now disrupted the market and made like other nudists start to be, more revealing and then upping their own price. Like all of that was put in there, talked about some, even though they have videos being sexually explicit with like the other sex, they are not necessarily into the other sex. Like, 20-year-olds doing this and all of that. I think it's a great article. Talked about the potential consequences, which was very interesting for me because honestly, I didn't even see it in that light. But like he said, it's actually in the law. And I'm trying to pull up that place. It's actually in the Constitution where you shouldn't, you can't, it's in the Cyber Crimes Act of 2015, right? Section 24 that states grossly offensive, pornographic, or any other indecent, obscene, or menacing character by a computer system or otherwise will be liable to pay a fine of 7 million naira or imprisonment for a term of not more than 3 years, right? Which is also very interesting because honestly, I thought it was only revenge porn that attracted some sort of punishment, right? That is sharing content that isn't yours. I didn't even know that sharing your own content, you understand? So that thing about our freedom of will and all of that, like from a constitution, from the constitution, just like Cyber Crimes Act, is it a crime or not? Just looking at the laws in Nigeria, well-rounded, well-done article, in my opinion, lots of quotes, lots of commentary, lots of investigation into how, what platforms. It's a well-done story. If you did this in like a video format and an interview, I would also watch it. However, this was now received in the worst of ways.
Let me tell you why.
Let me even tell you why it was received in the worst of ways, right? Punch usually does a screenshot of their newspaper page and posts it on social media. And that went on social media as well with pictures of these women that he discussed in the article. Now, these pictures aren't private pictures. They are already in the public domain. He probably Googled them or called them from their social media accounts, right? And then he put it up and then did the story. And the only thing I've seen, like the only set of pushback I've seen, has nothing to do with what is cited in the article. The only pushback I've seen is largely from women who have castigated this reporter for taking their pictures and using their pictures. and that has now been the bane of, that has been the whole topic, and not even what is in this story. Please go ahead, guys. I'd like to know what your own thoughts are.
Okay, I didn't even know that that's what they were, eating at. I thought they didn't just like his tone of the article.
Well, I guess that was it, but there's nothing wrong he's done. And so the only thing they could now sit on was using their pictures.
The Native and I think Culture Custodian have done articles as far back as 2020 talking about the rise of this kind of adult content on Twitter. And, especially for Native, it came at an angle of where agency, body autonomy, financial independence, and all that stuff, and there was no backlash at that because it plays to the. I think the punches version, it comes from a mainstream angle at it. If you look at his first paragraph or that lead where they said consequences, those words are not. It looks a bit judgmental and everything. For me, I'm not surprised. I've been saying this since 2019 when there were fleets on. When there were fleets on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's when people started posting this kind of content because they need to disappear in 24 hours and stuff like that. The adult content is big business in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, that's why when they were saying it in the group, when guys were discussing, do you know this babe? Do you know this babe? I was just laughing. These are even the old ones self. It is our reality now. The OnlyFans market of America has come to Nigeria for the last 3 or 4 years. And
they're just using different platforms. They're just using platforms that can connect directly to the users.
Yes,
people are not going to use OnlyFans because they can't even put their card on it.
If you follow these babes actually for a while, most of them complain that, they can't use OnlyFans in Nigeria. And that is why I think a local person now created All Access Fans or something for Nigeria, Ghana, and some African countries. Basically. If you go on Snapchat, they do it also. You can also go to their Telegram and subscribe and whatever. It happens. And these are very, very beautiful women and sexual women. Many of them in their early 20s, right? And they have at least, there's a lady who showed a screenshot of how much she had made, 1 million in a month. Over 1 million naira a month.
From subscribers?
Yeah, from subscribers. Now you can be of that, what is this? Why are Nigerian women doing it? These are our future mothers. And as Goche always says, if there's no demand, there's no supply.
Simple.
If these ladies put out their photos and they know that the first photo, 0 views, 0 likes, 0 retweets.
Or nobody subscribes.
And they do that 10 times and nobody, what do they do?
They'll move somewhere else.
They'll dust up their degree and look for work. But because they know that there are Sims out there, there are suckers out there who will play.
I don't even want you to call Sims or suckers.
Okay,
there are people out there that want to pay for adult entertainment. They're not. It's just that a large part of the audience is Sims and suckers.
Yes.
Which I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
But
pay for their nudes.
It's entertainment.
Yes, it's entertainment. So some will pay for their nudes, some will pay for video, some will even pay for virtual meetups. And if your money carry on, you meet for physical meetup and whatever. It's part of life. It's just this with the internet.
It's the oldest business.
Bro, this is just SW in a new form, in a social media form. But I guess that for some people will be titillated by it, by the whole, oh my Lord, see what they are doing, I see what I'm doing. And in the last 2 weeks, or in the last month, it seems there has been a heightened, I don't know what that has to do with the economy now. There are certain pictures these babes were taking, and now it has even gone more graphic.
Yep.
More explicit. I don't know if that has to do with the economy. I don't know. But to me, it's business as usual. If you don't like it, block. Finish. It's simple as that.
I also think it has to do with Twitter's new stance or current stance on like adult content, right? They came out to say, hey man, people who are posting porn, they are allowed to post anything. We are not going to be like Instagram or the other social media platforms where you can't post anything.
Yes.
Go ahead and post everything here. And I think that's what even drove these people because, I mean, they have Twitter accounts. Doing my own research, I saw that they have Twitter accounts and then they post all the explicit content there. It's literally on Twitter.
Yes, it is.
It's literally that, like, they are posting these users there. These adult creators are posting there, and then they are directing people to go to their.
That is their platform to direct people to those.
There's
places.
A platform called Niger Leaks, Sinners something, and it has 62,000 members. And I'm looking at the screenshot of it. Right, someone did a screenshot with the that person's pictures here, and out of the 62,400, there were 2,192 online at the time.
Bro, let me bust your brain.
Yeah.
This content stuff is on Reddit. There are Nigerian girls, there are men who take their content and put it on Reddit. If you search their names, you pop up on Reddit.
Well, this is my new thing I've always now started saying. Nigerians are educated but not intelligent. When you see a story like this, the first thing cannot be, oh, who gave you the right to take their picture? When their pictures have even got, like, how many followers does Punch have? Like, this thing has gone more viral than where that Punch story will take the thing to, right?
Yes.
But there's a deeper story here, which we had, I think we had this conversation 2 weeks ago or last week, which is this sex work that we're talking about, right? Is it voluntary? Like, people not inspired to do it, or is there something driving more people to go into this business?
Also, there's another angle, right? There are many angles to this. You go and watch Egungun's Instagram page, and the ladies he's interviewing, I don't want to profile anybody, look like they are involved in that.
He's basically, boy, the guy is a digital pimp.
People are complaining that they can't take their family to beach resorts anymore because when they go there,
it's half-naked women.
It's half SW. There's an increase in SW work, in sexual work in Nigeria right now.
Yes.
And it tallies well with the economic problem. I've not looked further into it, but it tallies well into the economic problem. And if you're in a society where you're as a young woman, men that are even older than your father are disturbing you for sex all the time, it just one day to just click in your brain that I can monetize this pay. Whether I stand on the road, whether I go to clubs or lounges, or whether I do this thing online, it's the same pay.
Because ultimately, what do I need? I need money.
Yes.
I need money to take care of my family. I need money to go to school. You understand?
Look,
if I can do this for like a year and get some money, I know somebody that does it. Oh, she put me on. Oh, okay. How much is it? This is how much I'm making. Okay, if I calculate, if I can make blah, 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 I can pay my nursing school fee. I can run a PPP, then I can get back into my stuff. Boom.
There's a babe that said that mom needed 500K. And from this job, she has gotten she's close to the 500K.
Boom. So the way Victor Ayeni wrote this story, I like it because he didn't write it from a judgmental point of view. I read it twice, bro. He didn't read it you know how usually these legacy platforms will write this story and they will just be so judgmental or moralists, right? He didn't come from that angle at all. He came from shout out to the editor as well. He came from a, unbiased view. This is what's going on. It's like the way like a Times will write a story and put it on the cover. It's an expository, article. And for you guys to just minimize the guy's work on something that is prevalent and happening and minimize it to, oh, why should you write about these women? Why should you use their picture? How dare you?
Someone said you should have wrote it from an angle of empowerment.
You understand? You see, the people that are doing these things, you guys have drank the Western soup so much that you don't know how to think anymore.
So that's
you guys, they come from that angle of that whole thing, and you guys don't even know how to think anymore. It's almost like they don't understand where they live in.
Steve, if I have written this article, not for any backlight, I can write this article from the Western point. I can use all the buzzwords, sexual autonomy, body agency, and all that.
But is that what's happening?
No, because you have to now put it into the social, cultural, and political and economic context.
Hunger
day. Yeah. Hunger day. Everybody they sell within sell. And don't get it twisted. It is dominated by women because that's how the business works. If it was dominated by men, the one that is dominated by men, who are they? Internet crime, who did they? Now men now. Do you understand? The whole thing of it's because it's women. No, it's dominated because it's dominated by women. Hence, why you find so many women there. If it was dominated by men, you find more men there. The one that is dominated by men, do you see women there? People have written, as Steve said, people have written about cybercrime, money laundering, etc. I don't see someone say, oh, why do you use this person's picture? Do you know how many times they mentioned Hush Puppy? They've mentioned, what's the name of the other guy?
Woodbury or whatever his name.
I don't know. Did they say, oh, they put this person's picture? Everything is on display. Anything this guy discussed, any picture this guy used, it's on display.
Also, if you're proud
the women are clothed in the pictures now. The ones that are even spread on social media, their tatas are everywhere.
My own is if you are proud of what you're doing and you have no qualms about it, why are you scared that you're being covered? Like, why are you scared that people, like a media house is writing about you? Like,
I don't even think any of the girls got mad because one or two of them spoke to him. No, see, There was one that
okay. I spoke to him.
They sent one to this, the one that is very popular. I think this was the one that this Yahweh's Rare Unique Masterpiece. This is one that was trending yesterday, right? And she was like one of the core focus of the story because it says she disrupted the market. She came in, disrupted the market. She charges more. She charges 4x.
Number one. Yeah,
she charges number one, babe. She charges 4x than what those girls charge, and then she's more explicit. She tweeted something and said, "Please don't send me posts like this or tag them to me. I care not for it. Whosoever is leaking the videos is doing whatever they want with the videos they got from my subscription made to my private Snap. So don't worry me with such unnecessary details." Like, do you understand? You say, "Oh, this thing is going viral." Yes, because someone paid for it, and when they paid for it, it is not in the terms and conditions that they can't share it.
Yeah.
They choose to do whatever, and they paid for my subscription. So, do you understand? Like, that's clear. Yeah. And this is a story that needs to be told. But, you know, as I'm surprised to see people, you know, leave all that waka, all that story. Because this goes back to if things were running properly or as they should be, people will not go into sex work.
Or less people will go into sex work. Because in okay countries, financially okay countries, there are still sex workers. But not this, but not this epidemic that we are, or pandemic that we are seeing.
Bro, look at Peckers. Ever since we were working on Allen, look at Peckers. Do you think half of those girls wanted to be there that night?
Osagie, you know, the people we mentioned now, the ones we can cover, there is a coded way now where you'll be like, oh, if this guy doesn't press me money, I won't date him. That too is in a gray area also.
No, there's that going on. There are different levels to this thing, and I think you know, and this is a postulation, but I think this hit close to home for some people.
Yeah,
they don't just play on this level.
Yeah, some don't play on this
level. But they play around this level, which is money for hand, back for ground kind of level. But it's a more sophisticated level, and
so those ones don't pay tax. That's the problem. The way ones pay tax, these ones don't pay tax. But on the real, I've always wanted to do an article called The Economy of Sex, where we will now break down the setting from the buyer's perspective.
Yes, please do it. From those who have legit jobs but are still doing it. There are some that cook food and they say they will come and deliver the food for you. I don't know if you saw this. It's on Twitter, I saw this thing. Do you understand? The edible kitchens and co.
There are babes who have 9 to 5 corporate job. We see them on a Monday.
Yes.
They do presentation. Weekend.
Same as, and I want to be this guy, so the girls say, "Oh, we're always bashing women." Same as guys who have 9 to 5 jobs, but they're the job.
Yeah.
There are people that have 9 to 5 jobs, but job. Mm-hmm. So, you know, it's but a lot of this, like we were talking to someone, and a lot of this is corruption of need. Yeah. If some things are sorted and, you know, fixed, right? Some people don't even, because again, this is dangerous. Especially like physical sex work. I've always said it's dangerous.
You don't know. You jump into a man's car. You don't know who he is.
You don't know who you're meeting. You don't know. It's dangerous. It's dangerous work. I wouldn't advise anybody to do it. But hey,
and like you said, in a country where entertainment, you can't purchase foreign entertainment, bro. Sex is the next thing you're going to go and buy. Yeah. So it is what it is. And countries that have serious economic problems like this always look at the amount of sex workers in that country. There's a correlation to it all the time.
Are you serious?
All the time. There is.
It's a problem. Huh? All right, let's get to more light-hearted things. Hey, man, Wizkid dropped a new single, Kese, Dance.
Make we dance.
Yeah, what's your submission on the record? It's not my favorite Wizkid record.
It's not my favorite Wizkid dance record. I'm sure I'm not that surprised he came back to Afrobeats. It's just there. I think he smartly brought it in when he knew that this dirty December was coming. So to just key in with Ozeba and Fuji vibe. They just play this one next to it.
Yeah, it has that December vibe. You can also go, you know, performances and perform something new. Because every other thing has been very slow, and
it's also good to see him come back to Afrobeats. You know, it's been a long time, you know. So
yeah, people are divided with this though. Some people say it's like sounds dated. Some other people say they love it. What's your own take on it? It's not my best Wizkid record.
Like if I want to play a Wizkid Bedu record, I don't think I'll go. It's not my first 5 top picks at all, or even 10.
Make I hear him for club first. Make I high small and hear him. Now that I go know.
Because it's in the way they do it.
My brother, that vibe, my brother.
I'm not gonna lie you.
The enters us like this. You don't do too whiskey. Oh,
bro. That's why I talk about Ozeba. When I saw Ozeba in the concert, I'm like, bro, this is Kanye West music. This is levels. This is Mozart. What are you talking about?
Because they're right. So once the setting is right, you don't do like two stouts. You understand? Everything done day. You don't start off with catfish or Cubana.
Exactly.
When they start playing music and you start seeing people dance, it's a different conversation.
Steve, go to Secret Palace, 2 a.m. Where music body, still enter body.
I will be there.
So I get it. You know, again,
December,
I think we
there.
said something right. There's some music that you have to listen to in certain scenarios. You can't listen to this. I'm sorry, you can't listen to this song at 12:01 when it came out in your earpiece on your bed and then give some judgment of it. You're not even in the setting. You're not even in the setting.
It's not even for you. It's not even for you at that moment.
Yeah, you're not in the scenario where if you play the record. So yeah. Anyways, shout out to that record.
He's waiting for the album.
Yeah.
Mariah.
I want to go on a music rant about 2 artists, but I don't think we have time today, so I'll do it next week.
Do it next week. Music.
Yeah,
Osage's music rant next week.
Yeah, Osagie. No, don't brand it like that now. Osage's music rant.
Sabrina, like, you know, like her.
I don't like her. No brand, no like her. No brand, what's happen? Osage's music rant. They will not make it this show.
Shout out to everyone.
Shout out to everybody. We're not talking about P Square, we're tired.
Bro, it's done.
No, I spoke about that last week. I was not the winning record.
Yeah, I don't do obituary for them.
We spoke about it last week.
We spoke about it last week, Abi.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, shall
Bedu.
make it go. Bedu. Bedu. Agada. Bedu. Okay, let us read some fanmail.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Okay, let's start off this one with the U.S. presidential elections. Yes, Ejime says, hi, Osagie, Steve, and AOT2. I am disappointed by your take on the U.S. presidential election. That is my fan mail. What is missing from your analysis is that even Kamala ran a faultless campaign. Even if Kamala ran a faultless campaign, Americans would not have voted for her. And we know why. Well, we can't tell because, we can't tell. But it says just because something is the way it is doesn't mean it's right. Why should people not have high expectations of presidential candidates? They are running for president, the highest office. This was not a Republican versus Democrat question. It was, should a criminal who you wouldn't even hire as a babysitter based on his record be president of the most powerful country in the world or not? John McCain is an example of a Republican. Trump is a tyrant, a rapist, a racist, and a fraudulent businessman. Like, what are we talking about here? I think I get this guy's point. He still has a few things to say, but I want to reply to that. I wouldn't hire Trump as my babysitter based on his record. I also wouldn't hire Joe Biden.
Yeah.
You understand? So
Joe Biden might forget where your child is.
And you do know that there were also rumors of sexual harassment, etc., when he was running, right?
Was inappropriate touches?
Of course.
No, there was a full one that New York Times wrote, and the whole thing of the woman who said she was sexually harassed. So this whole thing about, and that's my point here. Well, I mean, I didn't vote. I'm not an American citizen anyways, but I'm just trying to tell you that, you're looking at bad and worse here. I'm not supporting anybody, but I think my own issue is don't try and paint anybody as a saint while you're trying to demonize the other person. You can demonize that person and still then say this person ain't still it as well. And I think that was my point. He says, if we don't have any values as human beings, then what separates us from wild animals? I agree with you. No one said Kamala's campaign was perfect. Before we even get to the campaign, how did she get the tickets? Did they go through a DNC primaries? No, she was nominated by the person who ran then stepped down. That alone was even a red flag for me. That the DNC didn't even...
But was it because it was too short?
It was too late, to
do a convention.
Yes, I think so.
She didn't have enough time, to be honest, yeah.
She didn't have enough time. So it says, no one says Kamala's campaign was perfect, but the option was a rapist or a woman who is competent and beyond qualified with over 40 years of public service experience. Some people will argue with you that she's not competent enough to be the president. That's the point that was here. Bro, it's democracy. People went to the polls and they voted.
And let's not act like people didn't vote for her. She had over 60 million votes. So
71.
Can you imagine? 71 votes,
71 to 74. And they're making it look like she didn't get up to 2 million votes.
For a generally obscure politician that many people didn't care about 3 years ago, 2 years ago. Come on.
Yeah, that's someone who had like only 2 months to campaign. She tried.
I do believe if she runs again, she might get it.
Yeah.
Depending on how terrible. Depending on how terrible or how
Republicans run the office.
Trump,
So I'm not saying she doesn't have all of that, but like people did question her as well. And I think, whenever people question someone, a lot of people, especially on the left, then say, oh, how dare you question her? Why don't you look at this guy? This guy is a bad guy. We agree. But see, 4 million people voted for him.
An important thing, though, that people keep missing about the 2024 US election is a pandemic election. A pandemic elections, like in the sense that the effect of the pandemic affected, like these guys had change of governments. Like they voted for a different party. Like and that was also what happened in America. Like the inflation that happened through COVID really put people off. Like the economics mattered for people. So I understand your sentiments about Kamala's how Kamala was received and how Donald Trump has been voted in. But at the end of the day, it's democracy and nobody can't argue against it. You get it's the choice of people. Yeah.
It says, but Trump is a white man, so even getting impeached and committing treason at the end of his first term was not enough. I'm at loss with how violent and insane this is. I'm at loss as well. But American people voted for him.
Yeah,
that's the situation of the country. That's democracy. And you can't then put like morality when it comes to democracy, because you said everybody of the people, by the people, and for the people.
And the people
that's the same problem we're facing here in Nigeria. Same thing.
Yeah.
There's a competent person with a track record of doing XYZ. There's another person who rode on the campaign to say, oh, it's my turn now. And people still went and did what they had to do. Even though people were alleged that, oh, there was rigging, there was this. But see, if people did not vote for him to get to some certain numbers, if people said, you know what, if this man only received 10 votes like Showore did, would he be able to rig anything? Allegedly. You understand what I'm saying? So it's democracy. Anyways, it says PS to the Nigerians in the US and Nigeria supporting because he's a Christian. A Christian, I have no words. Well, me and you are in the same WhatsApp group, bro. I've asked myself this question all the time. A Christian, he says, you people hate gay people and women more than you love God. That is Christians.
Yeah, Christians,
that's all I have to say about that. See, I understand your sentiments. Very valid. I also agree with them. But that situation make crayfish bend.
But the count said otherwise.
Hey.
There's so many things. This is one of them. There's so many like issues about this election. This is one of them too, though. To be very honest, like what this person complained about. But there are also like other factors. The important thing from every elections or like cases like that is not to be very, very it's not a one case election. Like it's not a one issue election. Like there's several issues that affect elections, from economy to LGBTQ to like far left identity ideologies. There's so many things that does. I think it's just left for the Democratic Party to just sit down and just really, really strategize and come back again in the next 4 years.
I also like to know his take on how the Republicans now are the majority in the Senate, I believe.
Yeah.
So based on that, why didn't they vote for Democrats?
Yeah.
That's also a thing now, right?
Yeah. It's also same day election, same day. Yeah.
Anyways, shout out to you, Jermaine. Thank you for your contribution. This is from Mo. Mo says, Osas. Then he says intentionally looking for trouble. This guy. Steve Dede is Solo's finest, and AOT2 and Mide Tayo for short.
Yeah.
I hail you, my guys.
Excellence Hotel.
Yeah.
Hey, excellence.
Yes. I'm a loyal listener and I appreciate you guys so much, even though I don't always agree with your sentiments or POV. We appreciate you for that. If you agree 100% of the time, there's a problem. I appreciate that it helps broaden my knowledge and understand how other people think based on their background and experience. I want to give my opinion on the tax reform discussion that you guys had in the last episode. The North seems to be the lowest hanging fruit for anything bad in Nigeria. I listened to you guys and also to Ayo on 234 Essential. Shout out to 234 Essential. Ayo, which is the better podcast, Loose Talk or 234 Essential?
This world is not my home. I'm just passing by.
It's 2, 3, 4 essential now. What's wrong with you? Let's go catch you sitting on the fence. It's 2, 3, 4 essential. Anyways, I was particularly unhappy with Ayo's POV as he sounded like a true Lagosian.
What is my POV?
And from the discussion, one would think the South is a paradise while the North is hell. I might sound like a homer, but please correct me where I'm wrong. I might be referred to as a Northern sympathizer after this. The Northern leaders as well as the Southern leaders are all the same as they are all incompetent. So when you keep signaling or singling out one half of without taking or talking about the other half, it seems like a form of bias. All states in Nigeria, with the exception of 3 or 4 states, are civil servant states. This is not specific to the North. Some months ago, when state foreign investments were released, basically all states in Nigeria couldn't attract any foreign investment except 2 or 3, which was Lagos, Ekiti, and I believe Abuja, or the FCT. This is not specific to the North. Most southern states, based on the federal allocation, get more than the northern states. But what have their leaders been able to show for this all these years? I served in PH, and the discussion during my time there was how someone from a non-oil producing area of the states be the state governor and preside over the oil money. This is the place with a higher literacy level than all the northern states. Note, the governorship candidate that was being criticized hails from one of the old oil-producing towns in Rivers, but because they no longer drive oil there, they don't have a right to governorship. On the new tax reform being proposed, I listened to someone give his argument against this, and it was basically him asking about the fairness of a product or the factory producing these goods being located somewhere, but the taxes from those products are remitted to where they are consumed. Historically, taxes from all these companies and factories have been remitted to Lagos, where their headquarters are located. What form of taxes are being remitted to where they are being produced? Also, despite the insecurity in the North still produces most of the food being consumed in the country, what form of taxes will be remitted to these farming states? I think all states should be autonomous and should be made to generate what they spend. Maybe it will help filter out the incompetence that we have from our leaders. Also, the governors are useless because the leaders at the federal level are also incompetent. So there needs to be a top-down approach to get the country moving forward. Also, when will we call out the inherent advantages Lagos always had being the former capital of Nigeria before it became a state? Tinubu and his so-called Lagos master plan has nothing to do with this Lagos better than other Nigerian states. Imagine if Abuja becomes a state with a governor. Would you expect it to be economically better than other states in Nigeria? Or you would expect it to be economically better than other states in Nigeria? Don't get me wrong, the Northerners are lagging behind in a lot of aspects, but the South isn't miles ahead despite more resources per unit area. Poverty has been weaponized in Nigeria, and the leaders, irrespective of the region, should be called out for this, not the people. For example, Sharia is being practiced in some northern states, but doesn't apply to the likes of Ganduje, his family, or the political class, etc. Nigerians cling onto religion faith because of the level of poverty in the country. We as Nigerians are unique, and we all have our good and bad aspects, but always look at the North, at the lowest hanging fruit to blame for Nigeria's problems is what I don't particularly agree with. It should be the political elite versus the masses. Let's stop referring to North or Northerners as the problem. Maybe this is why Arewa Twitter and not Arewa's built in Yoruba seems to always disagree with other Nigerian Twitter users on national Discord. Sorry for the wrong, guys. Nothing personal, just airing the opinions of some Northerners like me. Agree with what you're saying. Agree. And guess what?
Can I enter? Because he's the one that is.
Wait, hold on, Hold on, agree with what you're saying. But we've also said it here that what have we always said here, Ayo? That this like most especially the Southeast, South, they get a lot of flack because they don't get a lot of flack because media doesn't cover the BS that they do.
Oh, we've said that. Yes, there are many governments in Nigeria that don't.
We've broken it down already. I think, but I think he's not just talking about us. He's talking like in general, right? The North always gets a lot of flack, but they are just as incompetent in the South, Southeast, and Southwest as they are in the North. It's the same thing across board.
My guy, right? When I say the North, I don't mean Northern people or North as a region. I mean the Northern elite. There is no way, and I still put it to you, how a whole entire region, not Northeast, Northwest, or North Central, not when it comes to human index across board, will be lagging behind. At least there should be an outlier in one of them. There's no one. I'm not going to lie about that. And when it comes to politics in this country, the Northern elite ranks higher because they always want to be the most powerful. Every time there's a president, you want to choose a president, the North always say it's their turn, even though the last person was a Northerner. So when it comes to Northern elite, I do not care about them at all because they fail their people, and I believe they're a big stumbling block in this country. Simple as that. I have love for the North. The Northern people are great people. They're not bad people at all. Like where some people want to always dehumanize them. But in terms of Northern leaders, governors, senators, House of Reps, all of them are useless from beginning to the end. This does not mean that the Southerners are not useless. But at least when you look at human index, at least it's still average. You people are bad throughout. Is there not one redeeming quality in any Northern leader since 1999? How about? Let's wake up now. They keep saying the North remembers, the North remembers. Remember, you should remember that these leaders that are pushed, that are above you, are doing nothing for you people. Education, they don't want to give you people. But they carry their children to Harvard, Oxford, Cambridge. Come on, insecurity, not them. They don't
just
have
as the ones in the South are doing too.
Yes, but I'm not saying that. But I say if you look at human index, which region always comes last? You can't be F9 and now be saying, not talk about them now. Let them even try and do Shakara small. Let the Northern leaders try. But, we get you. Everybody's useless. So, hey.
All right. Thank you very much for that response, Ayo. Appreciate you. Okay. We have one from Shegun. He says, Eko Ile Lagos Liz. Big ups to you guys and the entire Loose Talk family. Listening to you guys always helps me to get a lot of work done. Just wanted to point out that the song Eko Ile by Fela, which I'm playing right now, should have been on your music playlist dedicated to Lagos. The instrumentals on this song is super and the message is still relevant till today, hence Dirty December. Basically, the message of the song is wherever you go, you would always return home to Lagos. Thank you for your good work, guys, and have a great week.
Thank you very much for the
The end of this episode. We survived another recording. Steve, you're tired. Let's get some sleep, Steve. Sleepy Steve.
Yeah, that's me.
You get some sleep. Ayo, what's your Sunday like?
Nothing much, calm, sir.
Just calm. That's Gen Z language, calm.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. You guys go and have a fantastic week ahead. Let's crush it. Let's kill it. Getting close to the end of the year. Let's go hard right now. Go hard. 2025 plans already. You got to start making your plans. 2025, man. Get that budget tracker ready. Get that template ready. Get your plans ready. Get that pen ready. Start writing down plans for 2025. You go again. You go again. When there's life, there's hope. Alright, guys. See you later, Ayo.
Alright, man.
See you later, Steve.
Alright, man.
To all the little stuff.
Shout out from his solo. Signing out from the headquarters of Coolness. It's Solo, Lagos.
Yeah, coolness. I like that. Yes. Coolness. Yes. It is not cool in his solo right now, guys.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's not cool in his solo right now. Catch you guys on next episode.
All right,
Bye, guys.
Peace. One love.